Hello, everybody, and welcome to Market Gaming tonight. Good to see everybody. Thanks for joining us for our 46th session of Mystical Mishaps, and I'm glad to be here. I'm excited. I hope everyone else is excited. This is gonna be a good time. And it's March now when we're playing, so cool. Yay! I don't really have a lot to say though, because I just want to play D&D. I don't really want to talk about a lot of things. I just want to play D&D. So, Rachel, why don't you start with your intro so we can get through this and play some D&D.
Yeah.
I'll do the longest intro ever just for you.
I'm going to cut you off.
Hi, I'm Rachel, also known as Pip. You can find me over on Instagram at Pip400art where I'll post all my art and stuff. I also stream, sorry. Now I'm trying to hurry and it's mixing me up.
No
I
pressure.
stream on Mondays at 3:30. So you can come hang out with me tomorrow. I don't know what I'll be working on. I have a few things I keep sketching and not finishing, so maybe I'll just pick one of those. I don't know. But anyway, I'll be doing something. So just come hang out with me tomorrow, 3:30 CST. And then in this game, I play Eleanor and ASMR, Warlock level 5. Yeah, and it's been a good time. Also, I just have to add that Mark has been talking about how excited he is for today and how he really hopes we get to a certain part, but he won't say what part that is. Yeah, he did it to Mike too.
Entire
so now
lunch
it's
today
just
about that.
well, what is the part, Mark? Just say it. He's like, it has to be natural. And
I'm not going to force you.
So
into
now
anything.
Do you need
don't
help
know.
us getting there? Nope.
Nope.
We'll see. It could be now. Could be 5 games from now.
You
I'm like,
guys
oh my
might
God.
not even go into it, honestly, and it could just disappear forever. But
That drives me insane. Just say it.
Spent 3 days prepping for something that might not happen. It kills me inside.
that's my life.
Is it like this version
It'll
of
die with him.
this
It'll
world's?
die with him in the grave, and he won't care. Sorry, what? I'm sorry.
Is it this world's orb world where we get to have a fun time, or is it a bad thing that we? I
to
don't
find
know.
out.
Also a good clarifier.
Don't like
All
that.
right. We'll pass on to our second player, Kelly.
I'll try to do an auctioneer fast talking. No, I'm kidding. Hi, I'm Kelly. I play Winnie, the level 5 Kithrak monk. I hope we get to be level 6 soon. I don't remember when we leveled up last time, but I was looking at my level 6 stuff for monk, and I wanna be there. Anyway, and I'm gonna be hopeful that we'll find it and it'll be a good thing today, whatever it is.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't know what it is, but it'll be good, and we'll find it.
Just know this is Kelly's fault. Okay, Ashley, you're next.
Hi, I'm Ashley. I also make art, and I'm gonna try and post a bunch more of it on Instagram this week. So if you like art, I'm trying desperately to keep up with all of the things I've been making. It's just hard to remember to share them sometimes. I play Euphemia. She's a human druid. She's had a rough few days. And she's a little more cautious than I am. The player part of me really wants to push some buttons and see if we can find whatever this is.
Mysterious thing.
She's also bordering on probably kind of desperate, so we'll see how things go. I'm not sure. She's a little bit of a wild card at the moment, so I'm very excited to see what happens here, because anything could happen at this point. There's a lot of doors we've blown open.
Or we'll just be in the library the whole time and nothing happens.
I mean,
We thought that last
See
time we
that
went to this
happen.
library and something happened.
yeah,
so
maybe that's exactly where I want you to be.
Yeah, that's true.
That library is not. It's not a safe place necessarily.
Very true. And our final player tonight, we have Mike.
All right, I'm doing this. Hi guys, my name is Michael, also Bardic Dice. I stream Twitch and do a lot of fun stuff in D&D, and then I do a game that I came back from streaming called Another Defensive bi-weekly game on Thursday, 7:30 CST, which you can find on YouTube when I get back to editing, because the editing's been a little hard right now, but that's okay. I'll get to it. And also, we're going to be having a sequel to Fates United coming back called Fates Apart, which is super excited. It'll be cool. It'll hopefully be in April. But yeah, today I play Davril. He is a level 5 Artificer, level 4 Artificer, level 1 Wizard, and he's really fun, and I have fun it. So it's going to be a night.
There we go.
Boom.
Good time.
Auctioneer intro.
Wonderful.
Thank
I'll
you,
take the fun
Kelly.
I'm trying to get the fun dip in the auction. So.
Sold to
Wait.
Kelly.
I just realized you got the big fun dip. I only got the little
Yes.
packs. Where did you
That's
find
what I
that? Hey.
We can
That.
work that out.
Sorry,
We're not sponsored by anybody at this point. So.
Nope.
Hey,
No sponsors.
Fun Dip though. If you want to hit us up for a sponsorship, let us know.
Yeah, we will
We
sponsor
want
you.
reviews.
You will have at least a few people on this stream who will definitely be okay with
We'll
Fun
love it
Dip.
here.
We love fun dip.
There's just one person that works at Fun Dip, like, get him on the phone.
Oh my god. They've been waiting for this.
We need the traction. It's been so many years since someone ate our product.
No one's remembered us.
With how hard they are to
20
find
years.
in stores, maybe
That's
they
what I'm
are.
saying.
So
We could be the catalyst of the resurgence of Fun Dip.
yes, let's bring it back.
Just watch.
That's so funny.
The
Would you
golden
like
years.
a fun break from D&D? Come and have a fun dip with us.
Let's do it. But go give Bark Dice a follow if you have not already, and check out his stuff. A lot of fun hanging out there. And I am Mark. I am the Dungeon Master here. We do have a Discord that we share with Bardic Dice that's called The Tavern that you could join, pop in there, hang out, post gifts in the Mystical Mishaps channel during the session about the chaos that is inevitable in this game, and see what happens. If you want to get caught up, there is a recap thread in there. You can also go check out old sessions on YouTube and in podcast form. If you like the long version, if you like the short version, there's a sessions recap thread in there you can look at. And there's also like NPC art and things like that you can always find in the tavern as well. If you want to look up stuff for reference. But I don't really have a lot else to say because I want to play D&D. So what do you say we just get this going? Let's get this rolling. All right, friends, we are back and ready to begin our session. There they come rolling in, all our redemptions. Thank you, everyone, for supporting our players. As, let's see, Ashley, Mike, Kelly, no Rachel.
Rachel doesn't get one.
It's okay, I'm not loved. Oh, there,
Oh,
we
there
go.
it is.
Is.
Y'all get one. Let me mark that on the screen here for you. And then we have a chat blessing also. Let's get that rolled out of the way real quick.
Have we done the math? Do we know how many points you get for
Yeah.
watching a whole episode?
I don't know.
Oh. That's
I'm just thinking, like, if someone spends 4,000 on our advantages, like, do they get that back for watching a whole episode or not? Just kind of curious.
I'm not sure. You get like 50 for every 15 minutes or something like that, I think. But I got a blessing. Though.
And there's stream streaks now where
Oh, true. Yeah.
if you watch in a row, then I think you get bonus
That's wild.
channel
And-
points or something, but I don't really get that one.
Little spoiler, if you guys are sticking around to the break, I'm gonna do another point dump because I have a bunch of accumulated points that I can dump. So stick around to the break and we'll run a poll if I roll a 20 or not, and potentially you could be rich. So stick around for that. But yeah, recap of the past sessions. Our party was wrapping up their events in Edgefort, the very sad and dark, depressing stuff related to Euphemia's youth that happened there. But they stopped by to visit a taxidermist who offered them potential work to find some dangerous creatures that she could stuff. And then Edison ended up teleporting them to the desert city of Arrow Run to investigate the burial of another young girl who the death circumstances seem similar to at least stuff that happened to Euphemia and her younger sister. So they waited for access to the burial chambers. They were noticed, which brought local guards to kind of keep watch on the party and see what they were doing. But Edison returned, brought them down to the burial chambers where you all were able to dig up the body of this young girl, finding a vague shape of a child, but made out of mushrooms, and it was very odd to you. Kind of a weird combination there. But both the parents you dug up to, they looked normally dead, like you'd expect. But once your business was concluded with the family there, the guards moved in looking like they were coming to intercept and grab Eleonora, and Edison in a moment looked to her and just like, you wanna stick around or go? And she wanted to go, so he teleported you out and you arrived in Heaven's Reach, where this campaign started a long time ago, and a destination that you guys wanted to get to, or at least for some time, and unfortunately we're not able to stay there. So you are back in the city of Heaven's Reach, this rather large city with tall buildings, floating towers in the air. Definitely the most advanced city that you've seen of the region or the world that you're on. And you are once again standing before the Watchlight HQ, where I believe Eleonora and Dav are very familiar. They've been there. I don't know if the other two have spent a lot of time there, but
Winnie went one time. I've never been.
okay.
Yeah.
But it's about mid-afternoon as you arrive there with Edison, and he kind of looks to make sure everyone's okay. Let me line up his art. I want to show off Rachel's amazing artwork here.
Thanks.
He
Sorry. Has it been a full hour since we went into the grave area? Guessing so, with all the shoveling.
From the start of it, yeah, it would have been an hour. Since then.
Actually, I think that was into the house. So yeah, never mind. Okay.
But Edison kind of looks, checks each of you to make sure that nothing weird happened. That was strange, those butterflies I saw as we were leaving.
Wait, something
Probably
weird can happen to
missed that.
people?
What?
What kind of weird?
You saw the butterflies as we were leaving?
Well,
The
yeah,
mishap.
like mishaps, but like, could something weird happen for teleportation? Like, arms sticking out of my back or something?
People have died because of teleportation mishaps.
The wizard, for one.
Should have given
Yeah.
that warning before we did that, but all right, good enough. Good enough.
I assume
Worth
you
it.
all knew the risk.
Yes. We
That was
did.
worth it.
Most
Yeah,
of us
gotta
did.
go to jail probably. So I'd say this
I
was.
didn't know it was bad.
Edison, thank you very much for getting us out of there.
Of course.
We get in trouble. Or does it matter?
Potentially. We'll see. Anyways,
Let me know if there's anything I can do to ease that for you.
what plans do you all have now that we're here?
Probably a few things. Research is probably important for some of the things that we found. Were you wanting to visit your mother
I think
at some
I
point?
need to go see her.
I didn't know if there was anyone. Could you think of a direction I could go in that's not? And I'm speaking softly. I don't know if it's busy or not.
Yeah, there's people
Are
around.
we off? Okay. I'll just say I don't know if there's anyone that I could speak to about a couple of other things within the Watchlight that's not associated with anyone else. I'd rather not talk about it in public.
I see. Well, I can see if I can work out an opportunity to go and visit your mother.
Thank you.
And
We also should probably. Oh, sorry.
no, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, since we're here at the Watchlight, Desmond, I don't know how much background you know about.
Edison.
It's
His name is Edison.
Sorry,
Davril, you
reading.
are.
just reading a different name in my notes. My apologies. My bad. Anyways, not sure how much you're caught up on the background of the cult of Akrol and all that. Understanding our situation, your counterparts in our other timeline already know about it, and I was hoping to maybe use this instance to maybe gather more intel secretly. Do you know who would have been the point person that had dealt with them prior before they disappeared?
I'm not sure who that would be. And unfortunately, the records that we have are private to outsiders.
Oh, sure. It's not really the records I care about. I mean, obviously I'd love to see them, but I was more hoping if you could discreetly find that point of contact. I would love to be a witness, or at least just letting them know that there were 2 survivors, the leaders, and it's out there. But I don't want that to become public knowledge through the Watchlight. I just want it to be known to just one or a few
I think you told Desmond already.
in the other timeline.
No, you told them
No,
here.
it's
Only
Sure.
spoken to Desmond in.
Really?
Yeah, we haven't
Yes.
spoken to him in the
You
other
personally
timeline.
informed him, yes.
You told Northport Watchlight in the other timeline about the cult.
And then
But you talked to
Desmond was the
Desmond
one
there.
that interviewed
Right.
us to make sure we weren't fake.
Yep.
And
So
he's
then-
like head of the Watchlight headquarters here.
If you want to catch up with Desmond on that, that's who's these instances is it's confusing.
That's a bit
Well,
confusing.
if it is something that Desmond deems worth his time, he will certainly
Yeah.
see to it being done.
For sure. Okay. Well, then that's it then.
Edison, I don't know. I don't know if there's a person that was looking into my death originally. But I didn't know if you knew who that was. I was asking Desmond. I was going to ask Desmond when I saw him again, but circumstances did not allow to see if I could speak to the person that spoke to my son.
I can look into that and see if that can be arranged as well.
Be very helpful. Do you have any recommendations for where I could look into the other situation of mine that we talked about at Edgeford? Without pursuing a temple.
If you're looking to avoid temples, the library may be a good place to begin. And some more digging.
The Watchlight is looking into it at all.
What?
No one in the Watchlight is looking into it at all.
Into any benefactor you may have?
Yes.
There may be. I'm not sure.
Just wasn't sure if there's a more neutral party. I've been through a few libraries and haven't been able to find much, but I haven't looked through Heaven's Reach, so I can certainly try that. But if you happen to hear of anyone that might know anything, if you don't, it's alright. But
well, I'll tell you this. If things go well with our investigation, we may be able to have a little more influence and ability to provide access to other things.
you would be willing.
When I have a little bit more to stand on.
Of course. Can agree to that. One thing I thought of, too, before we part ways, and I don't know if here is the right place, but I was wondering if it would be beneficial for all of us to share some of the nightmares that we experienced, because maybe there's a common denominator in that we might have missed. And I know they're private, and I know they're very sensitive, I get it, but it seems like it's a theme, and I think it might be foolish not to explore it. Thoughts? Just look to the group.
I wonder if maybe it might be maybe not so much the content of the dreams, more the circumstances surrounding them, like what days of the month potentially, what where we're at, what time, I don't know. I mean, I think that might be, because I feel like the content of the dreams is always, at least, I mean, I haven't had very many. But what you guys have said, it sounds like it's very specific to the person. But as for when they happen or how they happen, I don't know. I think that's.
I mean, I agree that is probably the most important, but I mean, if there is some hint or common denominator and we don't talk about it because we're feeling private, I just don't know. I don't want to miss anything.
Majority of my dreams have been about being too late to save somebody, or an increase in parents killing off their kids.
Interesting. Have you felt like a presence in your dream, or like antagonistic?
The dreams are clearly connected to concerns I have.
Have you felt like anything's interacted with you, though? Like, almost controlling it? I asked. You haven't.
No, I wouldn't say that.
Have you? I looked together too, because I know Winnie hasn't had any. She's remained unscathed.
Not until the last one I had. But they were all about not being able to save people, losing everyone. Until this last one, just trying to make, I think wanting to make me feel helpless.
Do curses, that sounds silly, but do curses, like, if it's a curse, I guess, or like I don't know, they don't need to, like, necessarily know what your fears are to, like the curse doesn't need to know, the hags don't need to know specifically for each person. I feel like the curse would just target people's
Well,
worst fears, wouldn't it? Isn't that kind of how
I
it goes?
agree, but I asked that question specifically because the last time that I had mine, well, mine have always been about, I mean, I'm sure it's obvious, but I'm wandering around my home trying to find Julian, and this last one, every time I turned a corner, like a hallway kept going or whatever. But, like, there was writing on the wall mocking me.
That's so. Does it feel like it's maybe like since we're seeking them out, it's like a taunt more than
It
it is?
felt like a personalized taunt, like not even like within the dream. It felt like outside of it. Does that make sense?
Well, if they know that we're
live
looking,
to everything I said.
well, if they know that we're after them, they might be maybe like tweaking the dreams to be specifically worse
That's what
to
I'm
like make us
wondering.
feel even more helpless or
Cornered.
unable to like figure it out.
And this last one, and from what you guys have been kind of telling me, yeah, the last one definitely seemed a lot more elongated, torturous. I was in Northport, thousands of fiends, and I wasn't dying. I was just being ripped apart, watching others being ripped apart. Kendra was there, and it felt like eternity.
And Euphemia, that dream in Edgeport, you would know is worse feeling than previous dreams you've had too.
Okay. You think it's a good
That's
sign,
helpful.
though? I mean, not good. I mean, obviously it's terrible, but I think it's a good sign. That means like we're aggravating them. I guess we're getting
was-
close
That's
to
how I took it.
something.
It was significantly worse.
Mhm.
And there was a promise of more suffering. They know.
But if they didn't feel like we were even a threat, would they even bother with targeting
Well,
us? You know what I mean?
I mean, we've already said they enjoy suffering in general. So it may just be they found their next plaything. I don't
It's a
know.
game.
There's a
But-
lot we are in the dark on. So we should take the opportunities we have to see if we can gain any footing in this fight against whatever is happening. Prevent more going forward.
Also, we were going to originally. This was long ago. We were going to talk to someone here about mishaps. Is that still on the table, or are we going to focus on other things instead? Or are we going to try and track down?
I thought Alden was the contact for that.
Oh,
Well-
maybe I was confused.
That was in Northport. We were hoping maybe in
Okay.
here, but
We should at least maybe go introduce you to Heidi here and
right.
establish some sort of relationship. I know it may be weird, but we could at least do that too. Just that could be on the table.
Definitely. Edison, what are you planning on looking into? If we split up the work, could probably get more done.
I have paperwork to fill out about what has happened over the past day. And I was going to look into. He holds up the water skin with the mushroom
sample.
inside of it.
Mm.
Let's see
That'd
if
be
anything can
helpful.
be done with this.
How closely affiliated has the Watchlight worked with, like a Damine temple or something when it comes to curses like this?
We have members who are active in practicing worship to many of the gods. We have a combination of many who are among our ranks.
Oh, within them?
Yes.
Alright. I was mostly curious. Alright, well, would you like us to meet you at some point? I mean, I can contact you if need be as well.
Where will you be staying? What will you be doing?
Well, that's the other thing, is if these nightmares hurt other people, I don't even know where we'll stay, to be honest. It killed the bandits.
Perhaps going to Temple of Dalmine then, and asking for a blessing of a good night's rest. Maybe something worthwhile.
Oh, interesting. Would that work, you think?
I've heard that they can have some influence in that regard,
It's worth a shot, certainly.
if that is a concern of yours.
Is it gonna work if they're not here?
Worth a shot. They have still access to their abilities.
Not that hasn't changed anything, so hopefully.
Okay.
If we needed to, I suppose we could always camp in a more remote area. It's not ideal, but
I mean, do you live here, Edison? Here in Heaven's Reach?
Yes.
Do you know of anywhere that doesn't have quite as many people?
Is your house isolated?
there it is. There
Gavril, look.
it's just counting down the
Edison-
minutes. Oh my
Edison has
gosh.
done quite enough for us to stay
There's
with
a
him.
little Karis
Gavril.
bleed over, but then Dab came out, and
So funny. Oh my gosh.
I mean, just we could pay you, but just logistically.
No.
Okay.
But-
all right.
The outer edges of the city to the southwest, and then the northern heights directly north of us is mostly abandoned.
All right, that's good to know. We'll take that into consideration then. So we'll probably be around there. Do you want me to just check in tomorrow morning? Do you want us to come over here?
Why don't you check in with me tomorrow?
Sure.
And perhaps I will be able to inform you even tonight of plans if I am able to make some.
Sure. I'll just check in tonight then. How's that?
That works.
All right. Sounds good to me.
All right. And he'll
Um,
just turn and start walking in through the gates.
I'll
Cool,
catch
but-
him though. Like I wait till he leaves the party a little bit, and I just want to catch him like super fast.
There's a moment of, yes.
Sorry, I know you're busy. I just wanted to thank you. I know a lot of things don't look good with all of us, but you've taken a lot of risks on us, and I don't underappreciate that by any means. It's not something that happens often, so thank you very much.
Yes. We need to get this figured out.
I agree. That's all I want to say. You can be on your way.
He will turn and start walking inside.
Just let the man work, Eleonora.
Dav just tried to mooch off his house.
I know.
I gotta balance the
God.
scales a little
Oh,
bit.
boy.
again.
I mean, I was about ready to give him a Horde Hunter badge, but not now.
Never mind.
He's okay with
So
that.
much together.
So I come back.
Yeah, Dav's like, so then, okay, sorry, my bad for the little, flippy flip on names. So do we want to try and catch up with Desmond? Is he here, right?
Well, he's busy with the Northport situation, so I don't want to necessarily barge in right away. Not now. We have to just be careful.
I mean, not now. We don't even know if we're going to be back here.
Well, we'll probably be back at some point. The way we keep flipping about.
All right.
I mean, if we would have, it would have been asking Edison, and now he's gone. So we can always ask him tonight, even.
I mean, he's like right on the edge of a message right now. I could totally do it.
And he's
Besides-
gone.
He's gone.
Alright.
146, 140. He's gone.
Never mind.
He's a fast walker.
Yeah.
Long
Yes, I
nights.
think he's trying to get some space from us. My thought, I wonder if we're sort of waiting for things to get set up anyway. If we're trying to find out information, since it's still daylight hours, if the library might be at least something we can find.
Seems
Or we
like
could
a
go to the
place
Dominator Temple first, but
Well,
We should
either
probably do
of
that
those seems
before
like a
we-
good place to start.
what's
Yeah.
closest actually? I guess that kind of
I
makes
think they're in the
a
same
big
area.
difference here.
Which one are you looking for?
That was Northport, I think. Oh, actually, I don't know. Temple of Dalmanay and library are the two things we're looking into currently.
All right. So, you are actually very close to the library. It's like
Okay.
there's like a cluster of the Watchlight, a school, and a
Mhm.
library, and you're like right in there. That
That's what yeah,
could pop
okay.
over there.
Is it Midtown area? Is that where we are?
Yep, you're Midtown.
Or... Okay. Yeah.
There are a few places that are more Dalmanay focused. If you're looking specifically for Dalmanay, it would probably be to the more toward the east side of town. It's closest, I guess,
Mhm.
closer to the guard district.
Okay.
But yeah, that's probably the best spot to go for that.
So if we're right here, then
We should just start here, maybe.
at least for a bit.
So the library first.
Library trip.
Library trip.
So you head into the library. And yeah, this is again a very familiar place to all of you, as you have experienced time here. In fact, the first
It's a very exciting place.
experience of a vision that happened, which was different because also that was being awake on that one.
Yes.
To remind
It was
everybody.
a waking thing.
With Euphemia that happened here at this library. But you already have a general sense of where some of the stuff is. So where would you all like to go? What would you like to look into?
Maybe we could split off. I was hoping someone could help me with my research.
I am a research assistant today, so I wasn't going to take the front on anything, but I'm a good reader. So if anyone wants to use me to use their research up there.
Yeah, I can help. I wanted to do a few things, but if you need help, I can do help too.
Well, and obviously, the curse is the other thing to be researching. So
That's how I was going to mostly
That-
research,
yeah.
but
So
if we want
why
to.
don't you two do that, and then me and Davro
Okay.
will research the other thing, and then
Okay.
meet back up.
See how long before Eleanor wants to switch.
What? Why?
I'm just seeing if I annoy you.
Oh, Davril, I'm quite used to you.
Oh, that's the nicest thing I've ever said.
That's better
Takes her
enough
arm,
than
starts walking into the
What?
library.
Oh my god.
All right.
That's sweet.
So, what are you looking for, Eleonora, with Dav?
Death stuff.
Death.
What is
Ooh.
up with him?
What
right.
is his deal?
What is his deal?
Death. What
Pun
is his
intended,
deal?
because he
Right.
makes deals.
Exactly.
likes
That's
making
why I
deals.
said it.
That was good.
Okay. And then what is Winnie and Euphemia looking into? Curses?
I think
Curse
hag,
things.
like
Yeah,
history of
hags.
like hag lore, essentially, nightmares and curses. Any of those.
Yeah.
All of
I'd say
them.
for me specifically, or for Winnie specifically, hags, and like potentially if I can, like no, we'll just do hags for now. And I think like hag marks too, like
Mhm.
what kind
Yeah.
of symbols they use, like if they have, you know, just things like that that would be like
Historical
specifically,
depictions of
yeah.
progression of signs, that sort of thing.
yeah, how far along in your curse
Development
are
of-
you? Like,
Even like
kind
the
of thing.
development of complex curses. Lots of
Mhm.
keywords.
How they happen, what components are, what's needed,
Right.
that kind of stuff.
Okay. So we can start off with rolls. I'm gonna do investigation rolls for everybody. Everyone give me an investigation roll.
Can I help Dav?
No.
I'm scared.
Everyone give me a
Oh.
roll.
Okay. Just
I'm using luck points,
Alright.
Liz.
Using my advantage.
Alrighty.
I'm using my
okay.
advantage also.
All right.
Better.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. We're burning through
That's
everything
so much
tonight.
better.
We all just immediately roll horribly. Well, okay, that's bad.
I'm using the D4 as well.
Wow.
Wow.
Burning through
Do it.
everything.
Wow.
Good
It was
job.
a really bad roll.
It
No, I'm
feels
sorry.
important.
Okay.
We're desperate. We need information.
So Rachel, what'd you get?
I just got an 11.
Winnie, what did you get?
18.
And
I
neither of
did
you
use a
two
luck point
did
on
use your reroll, right?
that. Not my reroll, my luck point. I used a luck point instead.
Okay.
I don't know.
18.
Well, actually, I'll read my reroll first because that feels. Because luck points go into the next day, so I'll use my reroll first in case I.
Okay.
Doesn't matter.
Sure.
I don't know if it
So
matters.
reroll is
Okay.
used, you still have your luck point.
Yeah.
All right.
Uh,
Ashley.
17. And I used my reroll.
And
Guys.
Mike,
Stink rolls
what'd you
immediately.
get for Dav?
Used all of my stuff and I got a 14.
All right.
Jeez.
Sorry. I'm so sorry.
No,
We
it's
can't bomb this one. I mean,
I
That sounds like
failed
a
the
nice-
city.
All right.
I'll vamp out Micah to start reading too.
No.
He's like, huh? He's cocks his head to the side, like.
It's okay, buddy.
We'll start off with Eleonora and Dav as you
Sure.
head more towards the like books about the pantheon and deities and things like that, and peruse it. It's pretty obvious as you're initially looking around for a little while that he doesn't really get a lot of books written about him. He is very much so a minor deity. You're passing like all these other books about like Acacius and Dalmine and Durandal and Reyna and all these other deities as you go. But eventually, you do find a book that talks about the Hold. That's more modern. You think maybe this will have it, so you grab that. And there, as you dig through there and kind of search through it, it talks about how there was a deity who goes by Death that is now residing there, which you already know. You have this information. You do get notes though as you dig through, especially Dav as he's like reading through some things. That, I mean, this individual became a god more recently. He is definitely somebody who has not been a god for a long time. timeline wise of stuff.
That's cool.
So the year is 9190. And you get the idea that his arrival as a god is probably just over 100 years or so from, like, that's when he became a god.
Okay.
So it's a little over 100 years from what you're guessing. But again, this doesn't have a ton of details in it. It's like, with your research that you're doing, it's just a lot of surface level details you're finding about him. So you're kind of getting the sense that, especially like you, Dav, who like has been in libraries and research stuff before, that this is more specialized knowledge. So you may need to either have access to some deeper archives or speak to someone who's more of a specialist to try to get guided in the right direction.
Do we feel like this library would have that kind of specialties, or do we feel like that would have to be otherwise?
It's a pretty big library, so that might be one of the issues too. Is there's a lot of books to go through to try and track down specific things.
Question for you. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, just are there people that work here that if we were like, hey, could you give us books on this, if we feel like that would yield better results?
You could certainly
Or
ask
does it
for some help.
That's Dav's background, technically. I would do well with library personnel, and they know, like, he knows exactly where to find stuff.
Nice.
So between me and the assistant, I mean, technically, if it's publicly available, we should be able to find it. But I mean, Dav would probably go up and attempt. He did last time.
So you are going to ask for help now?
Yeah, looking for like a research assistant or some sort of librarian attendee.
Okay.
That looks like they're more of a mainstay in the library, not just like the front greeters sort of thing.
Okay. So
I'll
as
kind
you
of make
approach,
myself scarce.
Okay.
While he does that.
Sounds good. You find somebody.
Before I do, I'm gonna cast. Oh, did I take it? I don't think I took it because I wasn't expecting to go to Heaven's Reach. Never mind.
Okay.
I didn't take Disguise Self today.
So you approach this individual, and they greet you. Help you something?
Yes. Doing a little bit of a deep dive for an academic purpose on some of the deities, you know, with everything going on. It's kind of a curiosity of mine. Specifically this one, and he kind of pulls forward and kind of points to the reference in the book. I'm not very familiar with minor deities as well, and this one goes along the name of, I guess, Death. Do you have any more sources, or maybe even, you know, some protected areas of research? This doesn't seem to be any more mention of him in the public area.
All right, Dav, give me a persuasion roll with advantage.
Okay. Mucho better row. That's a +1. 21.
21.
Nice! That's really good!
It's the best I can do. That's all you get from me.
That was a nat 20?
Yeah.
Nice.
Nice!
Let me
Mike is just on the shoulder like,
let me look around and see what I can find, and I can bring it to you if I find something.
It means with this library's beauty, you've done a great job on this. Thank you. It's the best. Really appreciate your help.
Thank you. So you can go back to your book stacks of things that you were digging through with Eleanor, and a little bit of
no, I
time
think it worked.
passes.
I laid it on thick, kind of like you do sometimes. Just
Oh,
perfect.
did it work?
I don't know. We'll see.
All right,
She said
we'll
she'd
see.
look.
A little bit of time passes, and they come back with a book. This book is definitely a dark colored book. It looks more fancy, I guess you could say, than most of the stuff on the shelves. Approaches you though, Dav. I don't know if Eleanor's around or she hightails it out of there again. But
I kind of like go off to like a couple shelves away for a bit to be like looking at other books until he leaves.
I'll stand up and meet the attendee like as they're coming up.
all right. So they'll put it down on the table, and this section may be of interest for you. I can let you read it for a moment. I do need to take it back with me though, so
Sure.
not leave it here.
Is this in a protected archive then, or what?
We do have some that are for special academic members who can have access to these, but I'm allowed to let you see these. So
Thank you. And it'll begin to look. Then he kind of looks at him. What would I need to get permission to search those kind of archives? Some sort of pass.
the school might be able to help you out if you are able to achieve the sponsorship of one of the professors or reaching a certain level of academic degree. We'll also allow that. Graduates of the school can gain access as well. Those are all
Of just Heaven's Reach
possibilities.
schools or any wizarding school.
If it is a recognized school, yes, they can have access to these.
How about the one in Yellow Lake? Or not, Lakeside.
Side.
Oh yes, Lakeside, of course. That would be acceptable.
Fantastic. Yeah, we work very closely with a lot of the professors there. So thank you. And I'll try and look into the book and see if he can glance anything.
Just give me another investigation roll for this. Let's see what you glean from it.
Bad right now. 8,
8.
2, 3, 2.
Okay.
I was so tempted to lie on that one. I was like, nope. Integrity of the dice. I had anything to reroll. Man.
So as you're, reading through this section, it's a lot of information that you already know of this kind of mysterious individual known as Death who kind of appeared out of almost nowhere from what you seems like, who focuses in on using souls for power. And that seems to be what he is known for. But it's written pretty complexly. This is like written by a high academic individual, so it's kind of a little bit like hard to decipher for you, and with the pressure maybe of the attendant who's right there.
It normally takes like hours to get through something like
Could
this. Yeah.
Is there any way if I see that he's struggling, I might take the risk and just go look at it too? But I don't know if I noticed that or not.
Give me an insight roll.
Okay.
Sure, he'd be looking frustrated.
10.
Okay. He's spending some time on it, and he's just like kind of like going through it, like. But
Yeah, I could see
Up to
like
you.
him looking up and kind of giving her looks of like. "Ugh."
I'll just like kind of turn the corner like I was looking at a, because I was looking at books and stuff.
Mhm.
And then I'll just be like, did you find anything?
It's a really interesting piece. It's heavy
Oh.
language. If you want to give it a glance,
So I'll like go
is that
look.
all right? And he kind of just looks up. I'm sure you wouldn't mind just a cursory
Oh.
glance by her as well.
Yes, that is fine. I will need to be here, of course.
Of course.
Of course.
She's my
Okay.
research assistant. He just slides over the book.
Kelly, you got a
Nat
blessing.
20, baby!
Let's go.
21!
Meant to
Nice.
be.
Rachel succumbs to the budgeting dice rolls now. Just kidding.
No, oh no!
Yeah, and Kelly, you did get a D4. Get the blessing.
Yay.
So you begin to read through this section, and you're looking at the section like Dav was looking at, and it's again very like factual detail things, but you do notice there is like a little footnote thing that would lead you to another section of the book. So you catch that, and you're like, "Oh, can we turn to this page?" And they turn the page to that one, and it looks like this is more kind of later study that was written later in the book about potentially who this death individual is. And you begin to read something that strikes you almost immediately as a bit alarming, because you see the name Aladius in his history. He is believed to have connections to Aladius, who again is like the super evil deity of like necromancy and like twisting life and death and all that stuff, who is within the void, basically the abyss the worst of the worst go to this location when they are judged, but he is believed to have connections to Aladius, and through her it is believed he became a deity, because Aladius also became a deity in like a non-natural way, and achieved it, and it is believed that she may have imparted the knowledge on him to become a deity. And there is notes about how he has been known to have slaughtered entire planes of existence to harvest souls to gain higher status. And many times it is done through an individual known as Death's Right Hand.
Yeah. I out of character knew most of that, but the one thing I was like, I bet this happened, just got confirmed. Yes.
He always has been chaotic neutral, I'd say. He's never been a good man, per se. Well, he never claimed to be good.
I still have so many theories about this, but okay, yeah. So, all right, and then when does this look like? Who was this written? Does this look like it was written by just like a scholar? Does it look like it was written by?
Who's the
like,
author?
Yeah, like an Ismata person. You know what I mean? Like, would I feel like there might be bias in this, or does it seem like purely factual?
From who it looks like this is written by, it does not look like it's written by like an Aladius individual. It looks like it's kind of an impartial scholar who is more keeping account of some of the more minor deities and potentially even some of the more like darker sides of deities that are out there.
Okay.
So that's the general vibe.
So it seems pretty unbiased.
It does seem
Okay,
unbiased too, from what it looks like.
Does it mention like what types of planes that were being slaughtered, or like what they were, or like is there any names of that, or like indication of like what they were? You know, because like would it be like a bunch of evil people? Would it be like innocents? You know, like is there any description with that in the book?
It doesn't go into detail on like these were all innocent people. It just is like it describes it as populated planes of people.
Okay.
Generally described as being smaller in population, but it is where people reside.
Right. Okay. Cool.
And there's no talk of anything about that ritual or components of it or anything.
And
on
how he does it?
On how he became a deity.
It doesn't do anything about like process to becoming a deity. That seems like that's very secretive. But it is, yeah, he is believed to have achieved it through Eladius.
Interesting. Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I think after I'm done, I just say thank you very much. This was very helpful.
Of course.
We might be back here again. I'm not sure how long we'll be staying in the city. If in any free time, if you come across any more similar type excerpts, I'd be really interested in looking into them.
Sounds like a dreadful individual. And she closes up the book and takes it away.
Awful. Just the worst. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Just wait till she leaves.
Yep.
Did you get anything? There's a lot of like heavy language in that one. I saw call it cursory language, you know.
Yes, I picked up on a bit. Thank you, by the way, for
I tried.
getting it. No, I think that's...
Does Eleanor end up sharing what she read, or is she keeping it to herself? Kind of
I'm
curious.
role-playing it right now. I'm trying to see if she does or not. I'm trying to figure it out. Probably depends on what Dab says right now.
No, I mean, he's a very interesting individual, and I'm really curious to see the reasons why he does what he does. Because obviously he does this for good, or you want to be here.
Is there like a place that's kind of quiet that we can talk that I don't feel like people are around?
You could try to find a corner to
populated.
hide off in. Yes.
Grab some books and continue reading other stuff, like in a little corner.
Yeah. I'll just kind of like guide him to like a section. And I'll just say,
Sorry. Had a funny Davism in my head. I'm kind of with Kendra right now. Just saying.
Davril.
Just did I misread that one? Okay, that's fine.
Oh my goodness, Davril.
You know how many times there's like makeout corners in the libraries. But anyways.
If a woman talks to you, do you think she's hitting on you? Is that
No. I'm just saying no.
No.
Never happened to me in the other library. That's what I was gonna say. I just wasn't sure. I'm just putting up respectful boundaries. That's all.
Of course, you don't have to worry about me. All right.
Good.
So, Edison had mentioned that there are rumors that he killed planes. So that's also what this book said. So there's some implications there that I'm not taking as fact, because who knows right now. I need to talk.
I was gonna say there's no judgment until you hear his answer.
That's what I'm thinking, because look at all the horrible things people say about me. And they're not true. The lightning. Did you freak out by it? The thunder.
I heard that one.
And just hear it. Yep.
It's we got a storm going on right now.
I mean, if we were just doing research and I hadn't met the guy, maybe I'd be more concerned. But he's proven himself enough to look out for us, look out for you, for a reason. And I don't see you wanting to slaughter this world. So.
Well, no, but either he's who he says he is, or he's a really good liar, which he does cater to people's communication styles. I watch him do it. But I don't know, he has been, like, he's helped us. He's helped us at every opportunity. So I don't want to discount that either.
Well, he hasn't asked you to do anything that you didn't want to do yet,
No.
right?
No. But
Give him the benefit of the doubt. Where's the
I
suit?
think-
Come on now.
he's very professional. Well, it's what made me trust him in the first place. Not the suit. The whole demeanor, you know.
Sure. He's a businessman.
But it said in that book that he has ties to ladies. But he didn't seem like he agreed with that later. I don't know.
I mean, if he's trying to get souls and he wants them to be bad, it's probably where I'd go to get them from.
I don't know who wants to work with her. She's horrid, Davril. She's the one that the followers have met to the sepulchre.
Sure, but if he's just making a business deal with her. Like you said, it's not like he's trying to get good souls to power his stuff.
Yes. I just don't know. I will ask. I will talk to him. I don't want to come in accusatory, but it is. I've watched him dance around topics. Clearly, he's not telling
Who
me
knows?
everything.
Maybe he's done things he wouldn't normally do to survive. And now that he's established and set, he can do things that he wants to do.
Maybe.
Is that the only relation between him and her?
Seems so.
Eleanor doesn't say anything about the ritual.
The what?
The ritual to become a deity.
Oh, I mean, she said he has ties. Like she has ties to it. So I don't know. I guess I'll just say like. Seems like she might have taught him how to be a deity.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, well, now that's fascinating. Have you never wanted to be like a strong deity?
No, anything that you could learn from her is not good. That's my point. She's not good. Nothing she does is good that you've ever heard, ever in the history of ever.
Okay. Just curious.
Just, I don't know why he wouldn't mention it to me. I specifically asked him to tell me what might come around to bite me, because Idgen knew in the other time, whatever.
Knew about what?
So, about death from you.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, sorry.
Yes.
I mean, I didn't tell him about death. Just that you weren't a wizard.
Oh, you don't need to justify yourself
Sorry.
at all. You already apologized. That was laid to
It's in the
rest. We
past.
don't need
That's right,
to
under the river.
minimize
Sure.
that now.
I mean, it's more like what you
Retrospect.
weren't, not what you are. Just to be fair.
No, I'm just saying though. Like I asked him specifically for things that would be bad for me to know about, so that I could counter it. And this was not anything he talked about.
I mean, if you don't know to get into a hornet's nest, then you're going to avoid it anyway. Right? If she has
What?
no direct relation to you, and you don't want to deal with her, then what's the point of even mentioning her in the first place?
That if it's well known that he's associated with her and I'm associated with him.
But he already knows you're not telling everybody.
Oh, did he just leave?
Might have just lost him.
Oh no, we could scene switch.
Yeah, we're gonna jump over to the other two while we wait to see if Mike returns.
Oh my
Oh.
gosh.
Good old storms. But yeah, the other two. Well, you are digging and looking around about the hags and the markings and all that stuff. You get a few books that you're looking through, and the general sense you get is, again, like there are different types of hags that are out there. Each one has its own sort of unique way that they do things. So it, without knowing specifics, it can be a little hard to dig into a certain topic. But do you have a question?
Would there be colors mentioned at all?
There are multiple like colored skins. It feels like it's more of a generality than like a defined law on the coloration of the skin. But
It'd just be something I'd be checking.
I mean, there are some that are like known as green hags, and they generally have green skin that are out there, and some that are. You do find night hags, which are heavily associated with nightmares, so that kind of pings with you a little bit as you look into that. And yes,
sorry.
there he
Any
goes.
that are associated. Oh, there he goes. Any associated with like plant life or like anything like life, like
Fungus.
living things, as in like plants or landscape or something that would connect to like the mushrooms.
And the trees and
Mm-hmm.
you get a sense that a lot of hags have connections to nature in different ways.
Okay.
So that seems fairly common among all of them.
Mm-hmm.
And like the mushroom thing, if you look into that, that doesn't seem like it's significant to one type over any other. Like it feels kind of overarching, as well as it's like toxic brew and things like that. Like they can be kind of all over the place. With markings, you do read that typically when someone is when somebody is either targeted or has become an issue or a problem for a coven, they will mark that individual in some way that makes it so that the coven. I'm gonna switch over to the other screen too.
I was about to say we have a 3-person.
Let me switch it over, and I gotta move everyone around real quick. But you do find that people are like, when they're in the coven doesn't like them, they will be marked, and that's generally what happens.
is there
And
any
exactly.
is there any kind of notation about like any historical cases of people being marked and the marks changing over time? Because Def did mention that, so I think that would be something we'd be looking into, like that it kind of seemed incomplete.
All right, let me switch back over now because
Welcome back.
there we go.
Is he?
No, I don't know if he
Or
is.
he's not back.
Oh, there he is. Got him.
He's back. Okay,
You're here.
Yeah,
you're
you're back
here.
now.
I think
You're
we
here.
got you.
Hi.
You're back.
perfect. So generally what you're getting the sense of is markings are usually more instantaneous, I guess, than anything. Like a marking is something that is, once it happens, it happens.
Okay.
The level of how it can be revealed, though, and like the presence can grow over time. So it can start off with like a seed being planted, and then it can grow from there, depending on the nature of how someone could be cursed or marked.
Do they mention like signs of what cursed growth looks like what that would entail? Like more nightmares or like more
Progression?
like the curse?
Yeah.
Generally, like, for example, with the night hags, people who are afflicted can often have issues with sleep and be compelled to even do things that they wouldn't normally do. That's kind of a known thing that can happen with them. But it's again, the type of curse that they put on somebody can be very different. Because as you're reading through, there's like compulsion to collect a bunch of things and like steal everything that you see, like little trinkets and all of that. And there's compulsions to always be lying, and like compulsions to pull all your teeth out. Like there's just weird things that can happen, and it really can vary across a wide range of curses, I guess you could say, or afflictions.
I guess this would be the other thing in that like attachment to curses. What is the like? Is it common to see people become like possessed or taken over if they're part of a curse? Is that like something that happens in a lot of them, or is it not as common? I think.
Yeah, I was gonna ask that too.
It's, again, it can kind of go a lot of different ways. It's probably not like common through a lot of them.
Yeah. Okay.
But it is something that you do find notes about.
Okay.
But, like, there's a lot of other ones that aren't necessarily that they become possessed. It just is like they start behaving odd, or like they start having a like a necrotic spot on their body that just like grows and grows, and like slowly they lose their arm and it can spread to the rest of their body until they end up dying off, and just things like that.
Any mention at all of complex curses in the past that anybody has like broken?
So as you guys dig into that, Winnie, in your searching around, it's a very mysterious topic, because it almost feels like these curses are above, like more powerful than, and like work on a different layer than current like magic would work on. It's like a step up from something that feels like is common today. And in your guys looking around, and Winnie especially, as you're digging around, you find a note that someone theorizes that these more powerful curses have a connection to like ancient magic and very like old things in history, like all the way back from the beginning of when everything was created, and a strong tie to kind of that like nightmare dream realm environment, with the magic that may be still preserved there because of how the more Fey-like creatures have longer lifespans and more access to things like that. And their magic is definitely different than common magic would be considered. So that's kind of the theories that you guys pick up on as you're digging through that.
Can I find an attendant and like see if I can ask them about like some of this more like ancient magic, and like what kind of like the origins of it, and like
Even like
how it presents and like that like where I don't know if that's something I can ask about.
So you can ask and give me a persuasion roll.
Okay. I do have luck points. Oh, hold on. I don't think I have anything help me out here with persuasion, do I? Nope. But 18.
18, okay.
It's about as good as I can get. Oh, wait, actually, wait. Do I use my D4?
If you want to.
Yeah, I'm going to. Just
use it.
Another D4 was redeemed anyway right now, so.
Oh, let me...
use it.
Sorry.
Look at that. Let me get that taken care of.
Just a dirty 20, so a little better.
You get it right back, Kelly.
Hey, that's a good thing you used it. Yeah, good job.
Okay, it's a dirty,
use
dirty
the resources.
Yeah.
Okay. So they agree to go look around and see if they can dig anything up. But after a little while of waiting and all that, they come back and say, I'm sorry, I couldn't find anything more on this to give you access to. I'm sorry.
Do they seem honest with me?
Sure. You can vibe check her if you want.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Oh, I got a nat 20. So, 20.
They don't
Sure,
really
I
seem like
take
they have any reason to try and be like
Yeah, like
withholding
why?
information from you.
Okay. Okay, cool.
Ancient magic, they say ancient magic is like well in the past. Like there's not much on that.
Yeah.
It's people who have that knowledge are likely guarding it and keeping it to themselves. Because if you have this, like you almost have a leg up on other people from what people believe about it.
Okay. Do you want? I like look at you like, do we have anything else that we want to like look into or no?
I suppose we could try and do a little research on Dalmanet and how to counteract nightmares. I wonder if there would be anything here. I know we're gonna go to the temple later, but it would.
By this point, like you guys are studying into the evening with this, so I don't know how much more you can get into the things, but
okay. No, that's
like new
fine.
topics.
I would maybe just say we should find the others then.
Okay. Yeah. Let's do it.
I did want to finish our conversation.
Go
really
for it.
fast.
We'll jump back over now. Mike's back.
Yep.
Oh, you're muted.
You're muted though.
You're still muted.
Oh, I have like too many mute spots. No, sorry, zoned off. What'd you say? There's a paint peeling on the wall.
I don't. Bottom line, there are things going on that I don't know about, and I think very soon they're going to have to do with me no matter what, because of everyone going to know very soon. So, but for now, I would appreciate not saying anything.
I get it.
So, I mean, even to the others, I just don't want to talk about it right now.
I get that.
Soon, I will, but I want to think of a few angles before I do.
You know, I'm really impressed and a lot of times very inspired by the control you have over your life and how you handle things. But sometimes it is nice to just let things go and see how they fold.
A few things were confusing about that statement. First, I don't have any control over anything. I don't know what you're talking about. Second, what are you talking about letting things fold?
I might not feel that way, but that's how you live your life. You like to be in control. You like things to be set in their ways as much as you can.
Certainly.
Sometimes it doesn't matter what other people think. It doesn't matter what's happening outside. You can only control what you can.
I would agree with that if I wasn't worried that more people would want to kill me or imprison me because of this information. So, unfortunately, I don't think that's a luxury I can afford.
Well, sometimes you can get more information that way. I was even going to say that about you leaving Arrowrun. I was kind of surprised you did.
I regret it. I don't know if it was a smart idea. All I could think of in the moment was they're aggressively coming at me, and I have all of our things in my bag. And if they decide that they need some sort of tax or something for dealing with me, then we lose everything again. And so it was an impulse decision, perhaps not a wise one.
You know me, I'm always down to support impulse decisions, but yeah, it seemed out of character for you. I figured us running from that is now going to double down any chance of us trying to get information freely from that town.
from this side of things, yes. Unfortunately. And I don't even know though, because maybe they would have imprisoned me or decided it wasn't worth it for me to leave again, or if they would have taken all of our things. I don't know. Everyone reacts there so much more extreme than in other places.
Yeah, I was surprised about that.
I wasn't exaggerating. I know it sounds unrealistic, but
I believe you. I've always believed you.
thank you.
You're doing all right. I know you've been keeping it together for Euphemia, but you can just be you for a second.
I am very much in pushing everyone along mode right now. But I will say, the fact that we have to be dealing with this instead of doing what I need to be doing, and the fact that I died on top of it, the words cannot describe. I'll just put it that way.
Yeah, if Micah was alive and there's anything I could have done to get to him, I'm sure I'd feel the same way.
Of course, I don't blame anyone here, but
It's not easy.
This feels like a waste of time compared to what I should be doing. And I don't even know how long. I mean, it's already complicated things so much more. So, I don't know. The only way to do it is to go forward and see what happens. That's my only plan right now.
Anytime you need to talk about it or just vent, scream and shoot off Eldritch Blast, let me know. Okay.
All right. Are you doing all right? I've appreciated you taking care of people emotionally a little bit.
It's kind of a new role. It's kind of been interesting.
It's been sweet. And it's helped me do what I need to do, and I don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, it's been the biggest point. Just focusing on getting stronger, better, and not being a detriment to the group.
You've been a help.
I can do too.
You
I
have.
appreciate that.
Since we talked. I feel like I've been able to rely on you a bit more as opposed to babysitting.
We'll see about that.
Oh, no. No, you're not going backwards. You're only going forwards.
Have you seen Euphemia's openness on spells lately? I'm really proud of her.
Oh, yes, I've noticed. That's lovely. So we trade one babysitting job for another. That's always how it goes.
No, I'm definitely going to flame that fuel for sure. I love magic, so.
Well, not now. Not when she's
now. In the right
desperate
moments.
situation.
I know I still hear you in the back of my mind, like in the right moments.
Yes, of course.
Not spider climbing in the middle of a tavern. So, favorite memory.
That's the whole thing. Is that those?
That's all he remembers from that town.
All right. Well, thank you for your help. I don't think we would have gotten that information without you. So.
You're the one that got it. But I am really, really invested as well with Death, and I'd really like to be a research partner on this one because.
Sure.
I know you guys know how I talk about the gods, but sometimes it's more of a jealousy thing. No, I'm serious.
Oh, no, you're serious. That's why I'm laughing.
The idea that I could have been powerful enough to save people that day haunts me.
You're just appealing, suddenly.
So the idea that I could give up anything to become that powerful really enticing. So, really interested in learning about their relationship and what he did.
If you'll say it. I would ask, though, you leave that to me to talk
Yeah.
about.
For sure.
This seems a delicate situation, and if I push too far, it may be over.
Hence why I'm
So-
asking you to keep me involved.
Sure. Sure.
In due time.
You, as long as you keep your mouth shut on it, even to the other two, for now.
And he hands over the key.
I put it in, like, my pocket. Go all the way with that mime.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Alright, so we should probably find the others. It's getting a bit late.
Cool.
Wait, really fast before we like complete everything here.
Mhm.
Can I ask Euphemia something really fast? I don't know if we can I don't know if we have time. Okay. Well, actually, okay. First of all, let me have a question. Just make sure I'm not asking this like in a stupid way. When you had your original vision back when we were first in the library, when you first had that, did we establish if like because I remember you said you like were in, didn't you like watch a scene or you were in someone's body where you were like killing somebody, right? Is that
No,
how that went?
what happened was we recently connected. This vision that I had here was me
Yes.
watching elements of the Watts case play out the day that it
That's okay.
happened.
Okay, that's what I thought. And it was at the same time it was happening, right? So it was like in real time. Is that what we
It was the same
kind of figured
day,
out?
Edison said.
Okay.
So we could assume it was either right before or right after, or maybe during,
Okay.
something like
That's what I
that.
thought. Okay.
It overlapped.
So I guess I'll just ask Euphemia, be like, we were here last time when like the Watts case happened. Where were we again? Like what were we doing exactly? Do you remember?
I was researching the asylum up in the upper level of the library when it just came over me.
That's right.
And you and Eleanor were here, but you were downstairs.
Okay. I couldn't remember where exactly it happened or where you were. I don't know. Didn't know if that had any sort of like location or what you're researching had significance. I'm just writing things down and just like scribble on one of the many random pieces of paper and kind of shove it into like a pocket. And that's all. I basically am trying to figure out what's going on. So that's all.
She's just watching you, and then says quietly, I do wonder if that had any significance, but I don't know if it
May
would be
not
hard
have.
to know.
Yeah, it may have just been
Could
that.
have been the day.
Yeah, or just coincidence, sort of that you happened to be, researching stuff about your mom during that. I don't
Right.
know, but
Yeah.
just writing it down for I don't know. I right now I feel like we just have a bunch of pieces. That's all, and so
I know.
a bunch of pieces, and none of them really fit together in a way that makes any sort of sense. And so I'm just kind of trying to make sure I'm noting all the pieces so we can maybe if one day we find a place where it goes, we can make sense of it or throw it out because maybe it's not even significant. So
I think that's smart though, Winnie, just to take notes.
okay. Thank you.
That's all we can do right now until we all sit down and look at it all together, hopefully.
Yeah, agreed. Okay, that's all. I just wanted to stay.
So yeah, with the evening kind of coming upon you guys, you're able to meet back up. Is there anything you guys want to do this evening still?
I think we said. Oh, what is the mic
What's that
on you
sound?
doing, Kel? There's a weird.
Mine?
Were you erasing something?
I was writing something. No.
Oh, I could hear like the
It's
mic
like
was
picking up
really
on the
loud, like
desk.
the whole writing, yeah, or something.
Wait, like
Weird.
this?
It's not now.
Now
You
but
can
not.
see it shaking, but
Okay.
it was picking
Yeah,
up on
Sam. Sorry. Here, I'll
That's
mute
funny.
myself. I don't know.
Very good.
Um,
I think
if we're still in a secluded spot, I could pull out my notebook, even put like my book underneath it, so you can't see the cover, and just say, because we were supposed to check in with Edison anyway,
oh yeah.
and
Mhm.
just say, I'll write. Any word or updates you'd like to give us.
He sends back. He has a possible appointment at the Silent Link Asylum for 10 a.m. tomorrow, if interested.
And then I'll write back anything about the agent that talked to Julian.
Not this evening yet. Haven't had much time to socialize.
So I'll say to the others, possible appointment at the asylum tomorrow at 10 a.m. Thoughts? Yes?
Yeah. Yeah, I think we should.
All right. I'll write, we can do the asylum appointment. Hate to ask this again, but I'm trying to think of how many words I said. Can I just extend it into 2 messages potentially?
I mean, you have no limit, so why not?
Yeah. So I'll just say, hate to ask this, huh?
Oh, sorry, I was gonna say, did he say he was meeting us there? Because if not,
Yeah,
I was
I'll
there,
figure that out in
but-
a second. So I say, hate to ask of this again, but if the asylum decides they want me to be their new tenant, does your reach carry there too, or should I avoid it?
You get written back. I feel like that would be highly unlikely they would have any interest in that.
So I'll just write in the other timeline, I put in quotations, my brother had paid them, potentially. So that's my concern, but it may not be the case here. I'm just trying to cover all my bases.
Just, you see written back, if you don't want to come, don't come.
Okay. So then I'll just write, where do you want us to meet you?
Meet there at 10.
At the asylum, okay. All right, I'll write back. Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
Are we going to the Dominate Temple to get? Because I feel like, is that something we're doing or no? Tonight?
Good
We
time.
could definitely, if it's.
Because I think if we're going to decide, I feel like if our
Yeah.
theory is somewhat correct that we're aggravating them or like they're getting irritated with us and making it worse, I feel like we should at least try.
No, I agree with you. I guess tomorrow. Do we want to try and connect with Heidi tomorrow at some point?
Yeah.
I mean, we could
Yeah.
squeeze it in tonight, but I just don't know. I don't know how anyone's feeling.
Well, it depends on how bad we may be feeling tomorrow too. If we want to just get it out of the way today, because we're. I'm just saying, I'm preparing potentially we might have a really bad night.
Well, is the Dalmane Temple in the same area as Heidi, or like?
No.
Is there
It's a
things on the
different
way
spot.
to? Because basically our trajectory is we want to Dalmane Temple, and then wherever we're gonna try and find a safe place so no one will get hurt.
Yep.
Like to stay.
So where you are, Asylum is northwest, Heidi is southwest, and Dalmay Temple is east. So it's kind of all different directions.
So we probably need to pick if we're doing the Dominate Temple and the night, or if we're doing Heidi and the night, would be my guess.
Is that kind
I'd
of?
say then, yeah, we can save Heidi for tomorrow. Then I guess I don't care.
If it's
The
already.
I feel like-
thing might be the pressing one.
Yeah, it feels more important.
All right. Well, Heidi probably could benefit from some space, considering how she responded to my last inquiry. So.
Well, she doesn't really know we're like super alive, really. So
Yes.
one more day may not make a difference.
So you guys heading towards the Dalmany Temple?
Yeah, I think that's
Mhm.
our priority right now.
So yeah, when you arrive, again, it's later in the evening now. It's past
Sure.
dark. It's getting late. There's just like a attendant out there who has like an offering box and just has like offerings for prayers for your rests, and you could approach them if you'd like.
Mhm.
It was like,
Should,
yes.
I don't know if you, because I guess I'll look at Eleanor, because Eleanor, obviously this is not your safe place necessarily. So like if one of us, I guess, are you wanting one of us to talk? Or
I
no?
think Dominate's okay.
It's
This is
Maida's
Maida
the
that
one.
is the
It's me.
scary
That's
one.
okay. Never mind. I was gonna say,
Yeah.
I was like, I didn't. Okay, sorry, I forgot. Yeah, that's right. Okay, sorry. Continue.
So many deities.
Getting
Yeah.
my deities mixed up. I apologize.
Yeah. Nah, Dominate's, I think we're chill, hopefully.
Yeah, that's right. she doesn't care about death that much, maybe.
She has better things to do. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I guess I will, though. I'll like lean in before we're like up there, and I'll just say, I would assume being forthright is the easiest way to get this done, unless there are any reservations for that.
Just saying, we've been having bad nightmares.
I can just tell them I'm cursed with nightmares
Sure.
and ask if there's anything they can do.
Then why don't you take the lead? I'll back you up.
Okay. She like starts filling with her necklace again. Like, okay.
I'm like right behind her, like
Right.
right behind her.
So yeah, I'll approach then.
So they just greet you and evening.
We're wondering if there's anything you can do about nightmares. I'm cursed, and it's kind of been bad for all of us.
Well, I can pray for you this evening. And she like motions to, there's a box there that's like prayer for like offerings for prayers.
Gonna see what I even have left here. I will pull out 3 silver and drop them in.
Here's
I'll
6
pull
more.
Yeah, I'll
Same
pull out
thing.
1 gold
Thank you.
and put it in there.
I'll pull out 2 gold.
Is it the more money and the more protection we get? Is that how that works?
It is just a prayer. We'll go out.
And coin.
I mean, the coin, it does help the temple with our services.
Sure. Okay, so
thank you.
donations. They're not related, is what I'm asking. There's not like a scaled blessing.
Not like Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh, okay. No, that's actually really good. I appreciate that. I'm not trying to. Anyway, thank you.
But yeah, she'll
Thank
send
you.
you off, and prayers for you this evening. And yeah, Rachel, highs or
Does
lows?
Oh, me?
Yep.
Such a horrible decision.
I love it.
I'm gonna roll.
Oh, okay.
Ooh,
Yours doesn't count. Mine
Lows.
counts. Can I pick lows?
all right.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Yeah, I know, but I'm rolling to see what I pick.
Winnie's highs
Yeah.
or lows?
Highs. Ugh, doesn't feel right. Fine.
Okay. You feed me a highs or lows.
Let's go lows.
Okay. And Dav, highs or lows?
What if I said just 10 in the middle and nothing else?
You want to just call 10? I'll let you
No.
call a single one if you want to. I'll make up something else, Dav, if you pick an actual number.
Ooh.
Oh. Third option.
13.
You're going to just go single digit? 13?
13, baby.
All right. We'll see.
You're gonna be
Okay.
you're having a nightmare that lasts like 5
We're
years.
going all in.
Oh my
All
god.
right. Sounds good.
You lose a level.
Wait,
Oh,
actually-
man.
Oh
Dominate
no.
curses you actually. 'Cause she's like,
She
yeah,
like you
you asked up to
now.
offering. She's like, I'm gonna
A
give
whole
him 4.
nightmare of her just doing cartwheels all night and Dad
Yeah.
can't get to her.
Okay. Where are you guys heading after the Domino Temple?
My thought was we try somewhere in that Northern Heights area to
Yeah.
camp.
You said a lot of things were abandoned, so we could try to find like
That
an
was
abandoned
kinda-
building that like
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, the Northern Heights is majority abandoned, so you could always head
Mhm.
there.
Yeah.
So if you're looking just to head up there, it's not even like people go up there much because there's not even a gate that there's a in that direction. So as you head up to the north part, it's very abandoned, very quiet. Does not seem like there's much of anything going on up there. And you're
We
able
would
to
have
find
had to
the
leave a
spot.
gate to get out to here, right?
You've not left the city.
Okay.
It's still part of the city. It's
Yep.
just-
Okay. So it's still protected.
about-
It's not like it's an
It's within the
abandoned
walls
area
of the
where-
city, but
Okay.
it's
That's what I was
just
asking.
in
Okay.
a non-populated part. Like people left
Okay.
this section and moved down in other sections after
Cool.
the shutter. People left.
Okay.
So very much so a bunch of abandoned buildings as you go through. You do like spot there's some guards who are patrolling just because I mean abandoned part of towns could have some shady stuff happening, but you just like spot them off in the
Sure.
distance and they don't really seem to worry too much about things. They're just kind of like they're patrolling. But if you guys are just looking for a spot to sleep, is that it?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
You're able to find a structure that looks like it's got a nice roof and be able to get some rest. Unless there's anything
I
you want to
was
do
just
before
there
bed.
smells like beacons. Oh my gosh.
So
I
look, they're
Very
skull
much so.
crushers. Get away.
Yeah.
have something I kind of want to do on potentially on my watch, but I don't know if that's like we're doing that yet or if it's just before bed. Sure, we're doing.
Yeah, we can do
What
watches
time is
after
it?
break, but it's
Okay.
by this point, like the city's big, so it takes you a while to get from one section to another
that's
too.
That's a hike to get up there.
So it's a long journey, so it's pretty late now. It's probably like 11 by this point as you're
Okay.
getting up there.
Sounds good.
But anything before bed or watches and stuff that you guys want to do?
I would just give Dav a little note, and then she's not gonna say anything. But it's folded in a very specific way. It looks kind of like a little knot.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh,
She
nice.
tried to fold it. She's like, he makes stuff. I'm gonna try and make something. She didn't make stuff. She just does it to look really specific, and she's just
For
giving
that-
that to him.
You get a blessing, Ashley.
Hey! For my,
That's so
for
cool.
my. She's like, he always makes things. I'm gonna try and make him something.
Thank you. I really like it. This is fun. It's okay. So is this like a? Do you like unfold it to read it, or is it like together just because of like origami?
You can just read it later. It's fine.
Oh, so there's something written. Okay. Cool. I don't know. I didn't want to like undo your origami and be like.
No,
nothing on
you
there.
can undo it. It's not that good. I just
No, it's really good.
Later on
It's
with it.
really, I like it.
Since you're always making stuff,
Super sweet. Thank you.
so just leave.
Okay.
That was it.
Flee. Flee the premises.
So just scoot.
So, anything else you guys have?
Anything though? No.
Same order for watches? Is it Euphemia first? Winnie,
No, it's usually Dav first,
Dav? I've so
and then
much
me,
stuff.
and then Winnie, and
Oh,
then
it's reverse order. Okay, reverse.
Mhm.
Okay. So yeah, we will go to the watches after break. But as you all bed down, Dav's up doing his thing. Euphemia, as you lay down, you feel this like calm just wash over you as you lay down for rest.
Oh,
Nice.
good. Phew.
As the only person who guessed the right thing. So
Oh my gosh.
I can feel it like it's not hags. I can feel it. I knew it.
Girl needed a
I was
win.
the emotion
She
board
needed a
person
win.
to guess right.
Truly,
Yeah.
truly.
Woo!
But-
All right.
we
Wow.
we'll go ahead and pick up with the rest in the next morning after break. As a reminder, I'm going to do a poll for a chance to gain some channel points if you want them. So go ahead and join the poll if you'd like to. I'm going to run it probably the length of the break. So go ahead and vote with your channel points if you think I'm rolling at 20, and we'll come back and roll that when we get back. So we'll see you all shortly. Hello, everybody. We are back for our second half of the session here. I know the prediction's still going, so if you want to get in there and you haven't already, go ahead and vote with your channel points. Yes or no, am I going to roll a nat 20 on the next roll that I roll after the prediction's over? I'll roll it and I'll say what it is, and if it's a 20, we have a lot of people who voted 20. I don't know why, but cool, guys. Thanks. If you voted no, you might get a huge payout, so go ahead and vote with your channel points. What you think that's going to be. Just about a minute and a half-ish left right now. So, but we're going to jump in with the watches. As Dav, anything you want to do on your watch this evening? As we get the night.
And kind of like before the watch, he'd been kind of like, he'd been pretty chilled and relaxed during the day, but you see him like exerting quite a bit of energy and like finding like something to punch, not using his thunder gauntlets, but just like regular like training. So he kind of like tires himself out, but he'll finally sit down. But yeah, he's opening up his Euphemia note like right away.
Okay, it's written very neatly. You would recognize this handwriting on all the potions that she labels with the date and everything, where she made it, super thorough. And it just says, Davril, you are a kind and true friend. I'm grateful you are here. And it's just signed E. She just wanted him to have a hard copy.
That's so sweet. Can I try and figure out how to fold it back up the way she had it too?
Give me an
Am I
intelligence
smart
roll.
enough for that?
It's probably not very elaborate. She just kind of folded it while they were walking. Like
14.
I'm sure that's more than enough.
It takes maybe a couple tries, but you get it back together, and you get a blessing for that too.
Yeah. Hey.
Oh.
This note is so blessed.
Folding the paper is what gives you guys blessings, apparently. So.
Yep.
Apparently, we need to do this more. It's like middle school passing notes.
And he will put it in. He has a special pouch that's within his jacket, but it's like his vest that he wears on the inside. And he has one of those like internal vest pockets that holds very few mementos. And I'll put that in there. That's cool. All right, Mike, you know what's going on. Let's watch out.
Give me those perception rolls.
So are you having me do separate ones for me and him? Is that right?
If you are having him kind of do his own patrol, do me some separate rolls.
So Mike comes outside. He's not paying attention either.
All right.
He's in hawk form, doing...
So he doesn't have night vision either, does he then? He's dark vision.
That's true. No, he doesn't.
It would be a disadvantage then.
Yep. So then, 1.
You got a 1. 5. Okay. Perfect.
And mine would be 8.
All right. Sounds good.
I was a 1.
The few times I beat Micah.
Amazing.
Micah, that's a door. That's a door. Oh. That's gonna hurt.
But your watch goes on pretty quietly. Not really paying much attention to things either, but nothing seems to happen. So that's good.
He like starts folding his own origami.
Yeah, very distracted.
Forgetting how expensive the paper is.
Yeah, you can practice that during your watch. And I'm gonna roll my d20 now because the poll is up. So let's see what happens. That is a 14. So.
Ooh.
Oh, that big pot.
No. So enjoy the points for those who picked no. Nice. Enjoy those. Use them well.
4,000 and 10,000. I'll take that.
Go ahead and use those channel points to mess with the game. But we go on to Euphemia and your watch.
Cool. I actually think I would pull out those pictures and kind of look through them a little bit, and even just kind of think about, especially if there's any of my parents like when they look younger, like together, I think I would kind of just think about what their life must have been like and the things that the bandits said about them and that kind of thing. But otherwise, I'm not going to do anything major.
Yeah, definitely. Some older pictures. They're pretty old too, because those were what 10+ years minimum old. So
yeah,
they are pretty old, and they're it's different to look at some of these because there's smiles on faces, and that just feels kind of odd for what you remember.
Yeah. It's kind of that like nostalgic for a time I don't remember sort of feeling.
But you can give me a perception roll. Again, disadvantage unless you light up something. But I mean, even outside the range of the light, so just give us disadvantage in general.
Okay.
Disadvantage in general.
Oh, that was nice. Oh, actually, pretty good. 20. 30, 20.
20, nice. Okay. There's a point you hear like some footsteps walking out, and you peek out, but it looks like it's just some guards patrolling. They're just talking to each other and walk by.
Okay.
Nothing of concern. Anything you want to do though? Okay. Pass it on to Winnie.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like at some point in the middle of my watch, I'd probably get up and pace around a little bit since the next day is going to be a big day. But other than that, it's just some time with those pictures and thinking about my parents mostly. And then I'll wake Winnie up.
All right. Winnie, your watch. Anything you want to do on your watch?
Are we in an abandoned? Oh, wait. Am I muted or no? It says I'm muted on Discord, but
I can hear you. You're good.
Weird. Okay.
Weird.
Okay. Strange. It's like it looks like it on there. Are we in an abandoned house or just like a building? I'm sorry, I forgot where we're.
Yeah, you probably would have found abandoned house. That
okay. Is there like a
inside of?
Is there like a mirror I find anywhere? Like do I find a mirror at all?
If you search around, there is a mirror that you do find. Yes.
Okay. So I'm gonna do something could be stupid, in a lot of ways, or just dumb. So I'm going to, I'm gonna take my knife, like my blade, and I'm gonna like try and chip away just a little bit of my mark, like get a little bit of the skin out. And I want to see how the mark reacts, whether basically is it like how deep is it under my skin? Like, does it look like a tattoo? It kind of like basically taking on the skin, scooping out just a little bit of skin, like it'll hurt, but I'm gonna do it. I want to see how it bleeds. I want to see how it looks, like how deep it is. I want to see how it heals. So that's my.
Okay. How deep are you cutting?
I guess I'll do a first layer, like a layer or two of skin, and see if it's like under there, and if it immediately appears, or just kind of keep digging until I'm like, ouch, I can't anymore. So that's kind of my.
Okay. So you're cutting. And I mean, clearly taking off a layer of skin, there's a lot of blood that starts to pool around that section, so it's a little hard to see. But
like mopping it up.
As you like work on cleaning it up, it does look like that circle is still on your back, and she's gone.
The hag's got her. No.
She made a mistake, y'all. Game over for her.
Too much for her. The curse has taken her. Oh no!
This is the second person who's disconnected for tonight too. Oh no!
My gosh! In their scene too.
Yep. But, welcome back, Kelly.
Oh, there we go. Weird. I don't know what that was. Okay, sorry. My Discord was acting weird before that anyway, so continue.
You cut down and kind of try to clean up, and as you're cleaning, like you notice that the line still looks like it's continuous, like it connects the circle.
Okay. So it goes like even almost like under my skin, if I can like it goes as deep as my skin goes, basically.
Yes, that's what you're getting.
It's like in me.
The sense of
anything. Does it bleed more than like the rest?
The tattoo would be under your skin.
Yeah, I guess it would be because it's like how is it? Yeah, is it bleeding more than normal? Is the blood looking like weird? Is there anything that happens when I cut it? Like, do I feel like does it just feel normal when I do that? Like, feel like normal skin?
I mean, it hurts a lot because you're cutting yourself open.
But, yeah,
but
just like wincing.
Nothing seems to stand out to you about it. It's just you are injuring yourself at this point.
Okay, I'll use one of my key points and just like heal myself up for whatever Okay, I'll like scroll something down. Just I don't know. I think I was curious about what this curse mark, like what it was exactly. And I think the rest of my watch, I'm gonna take like a little, like cut off a little bit of like the rope I have in my pack, and I'm gonna like kind of fashion it into like a little H, like just a little each, and then I'll just put it in my pocket for later.
Okay. Give me a perception roll too.
Okay, yeah. Why do I forget my perception? 19.
All right. So yeah, your watch goes on pretty eventfully. You got your little H. You can pass it on to Eleanor.
My shoulder throbbing. Okay. Yeah, I'll pass it on.
You can give me a perception roll if there's anything you want to do. Let me know.
Wow. 3.
Okay.
4. Or it's 4 technically.
4 technically. Okay.
Woo!
Yeah, I mean, I write my normal report. I act like business as usual. Mention nothing about what I found. But I do, after I'm done kind of like writing everything that happened, I definitely like will spend some time kind of, I don't really even know, like maybe like she tries to draw or like do something, but it's just kind of descends into like scribbles, and like she's just like, being an arrow run was rough, and then like this like who knows what is going on with this guy that I'm associated with is like, you know, it's definitely like trying to withhold judgment and keep her cool, but it's also like one more thing, so she's like pretty frustrated, which probably incorporates into why she's not really watching that much. She's just kind of like angry.
The sun begins to rise. You all can hit long rest as you complete it.
Yeah.
Hooray!
And, the morning is rather chilly and cloudy, and there's a drizzle of rain that begins to fall as morning comes. And what are you guys doing?
I will cast Goodberry and pull them out of my pocket and offer them to everybody.
All right.
Sweet, thank you. I've been looking forward to these every morning now.
No mishap for that.
Yay!
I will have each of
Thank
you
you.
take 2, and then I'll hold on to the last 3 after I eat 1
Okay.
for now.
Keep one in my pocket.
Yes.
Okay.
I think just before we go, though, I'll just kind of gather everyone up and be like, so we all need to be ready for anything, I'm assuming. Is there anything you want us to particularly be looking out for, Euphemia?
I know that Edison said he didn't get much last time he was there. I'm not even sure. It's been so long since I've seen her. I don't know what is left. But if she seems to react to me or respond to me, that might be good to note. I mean, I don't know if anything bad will happen. I hope not. But it's always possible. Especially somewhere like this.
Either way, we'll be ready.
I had maybe thought if I bring these pictures along, maybe something would help. Wake her up a little bit. Maybe we can reach her.
What about that, Eleanor, the spell that we use to help Euphemia?
Was wondering about that. I almost would like to ask the people that are there if they've done it. I'm sure they have many methods that have been tried with her already. If they haven't, I'll be surprised, but I don't mind holding it as a possibility if something needs to happen.
Certainly worth asking.
Euphemia, do you want to do it beforehand, or should I have it ready for you in case something happens?
I don't know. What do you think is better?
Can you tell when it's coming?
sometimes. It's fast. I don't always have time to react.
Right.
Could we have like a signal, like a word like you say if you do notice it? Like
I
I don't know
almost
what's
said
a word we
hi.
could say. Hi.
A code word, something that no one will be able to
Hi.
get,
Oh no.
and everyone will. It's universal, the most perfect word
Sorry.
in the world.
Like first
Hi.
became the vibe.
Mm. Or even like
I mean,
yeah, I don't know.
If I stand beside you, I mean, you could even touch my arm or something if that's the only motion. I don't know. Because it's 10 minutes long, it's either we do it at the beginning and rush through it very quickly, or
Right.
we see if we can time it so that you can use what time you need until something happens.
Yeah. We can try that.
Sounds good. I don't think that Alexander has done anything here with the asylum.
You've been dead
But,
here, right? Well,
yes.
Yeah.
As until yesterday. So, Euphemia, why don't you take half of the party funds, just in case something happens?
Or I mean,
Or Winnie
I'm
and
not trying. Yes,
Sure,
I'm not
Winifred,
trying to be
you take
terrible,
half
but
then. That's
I wasn't
not-
meaning me either. But
probably Winnie.
okay.
How about I at least give you 75? How's that?
Oh, okay.
What, do you want less?
I
50?
can-
I'm just trying to think of a way to divide this.
No.
suitably
I can
separately.
handle it. I'm yeah. No, it's okay. Yeah, I got it. I can
All
do it.
right. Did you add that to your... Or I can even just say, I've been taking notes, so I can say, like, Eleonora has this much,
Okay.
Winnie
Yeah.
has this much, just so we can kind of keep track a little easier.
Yeah.
Keep the party
that's fine.
pot still in one spot, but show who
Mm-hmm.
has what.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So we know what we have. Yeah.
So, yeah, because, like, we want to, just in case, like, one of us goes missing, then not everyone is, like, completely broke.
Like a mishap, yeah.
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 Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Well,
there's a
and Winnie's
couple
not
reasons.
casting spells, so.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I guess that would. I'm the only one who doesn't cast spells, so.
Mm-hmm. So, that should help. Other than that, if something happens, I guess we'll improvise. I don't know anymore. So, I'm ready.
See Dav in the middle of one of his rituals. He's casting a spell.
Oh.
Is there any kind of like flowers around that I can go pick some while we're waiting for Dav? Would there be anything around?
You
Or
can
even like interesting looking plants, I would settle for that too.
Yeah, you can give me a investigation or a perception check for that.
Okay. Oh, 18 plus 4, 22.
Okay. Yeah, there's some plants. I mean, it's definitely more overgrowth in this section because no one's really caring for anything.
Mhm.
But there's some
Sure.
overgrown gardens that you can see that are at the end of their seasons at this point. So it's
Perfect. Yeah.
a few
Yeah,
things.
yeah.
But
Okay. I'm gonna go pick a little bouquet and then I'll come back.
you're going out in the rain as you're doing this. Like, it's downpouring rain on you.
That's
at this
okay. I
point,
have a
but-
coat. I put my hood over my head.
But yeah, you can do that. And yeah, Dev, you cast that spell. Let me see what happens. No mishap. Lucky you.
Really.
So I believe as you cast it on yourself, Goodberry is the only thing you sense.
So nothing active on the mark or anything right now, right?
Don't sense anything.
Huh. Cool. Because I do feel the good berry active on him.
It would
Yeah,
make
this
The
it
spell
matter.
effect.
The spell is
Assume.
affecting you, so yes, you would sense that.
Good to know. Well, hey, I didn't really identify that much. So no current magic is affecting us from the mark, which is kind of cool. But I can at least try it on your mom to see if anything's currently affecting her. Spell-wise, at least.
It's worth a shot. I'm sure people there.
I'm sure someone's
they've
done it.
tested.
Yeah.
But
That's why I wanted to test it on myself first. See if the hag energy reacted in any way.
I guess mostly what I will be looking at is if she responds differently if I'm there
Because
versus
you are there.
when it was
I think so.
just
Mhm.
Edison.
Yes.
And that is it just because it's me or is it because of something else? So
Right.
the more eyes we have, probably the better. It might be hard for me to tell since I'm so close to all of it.
I can certainly be watching.
I'm just kind of like
Should
give
I-
it, like friendly rub your back real quick, and then
I know this is a little bit after. Should I check in and see if Heidi's still around, or should we just leave it till we go to her? She's been very hostile, but
let's just leave it until we get to her.
we better.
We can definitely try and get to it today if we can.
I think we should.
Especially if we can only use our thing once a day, then maybe we want to. She happens to be gone or whatever. I don't know.
No. It's connected to my book now. I can talk to her whenever I like.
Oh, that's
but
right. That's right.
She is
But it was
a bit
the
combative.
other Heidi that's signed it.
Mhm.
So
Yes.
That's
She
right.
does not remove that.
Forgot about
I
that.
mean, is it even worth keeping her name in right now? Is it better to use it for someone else?
I don't know who I'd use it for at the moment, but
Well, I know
Yeah,
you
if
always
we
had
ever
one of
need
us
her-
as a backup in case we got separated.
yes, Euphemia is in there.
How many names do you have?
3.
Oh, I thought it was 2. Nice.
No, it's, Edison, Heidi, and Euphemia at the moment. So, we'll see.
Desmond would be a good one too. Yeah, Edison and Desmond both on that list. Or Igden, yeah. Anyways, sorry. There's a lot of people you could put on the list. Hey, let's go.
Max of 3.
Before we leave,
Get trashed them on there.
before,
Sorry, go
before we
ahead.
head out, Winnie would just like kind of pull Euphemia aside for a second and then give her the little H that she made, and then be like, "If it's like like a reminder, so if you get really anxious, you can because I like to mess with things when I'm anxious, and it's a reminder that we're all a team and we're your friends. We're here for you because this day might be not very good, but it'll be okay."
she like takes it slowly and like squeezes it really tight. Thank you.
You can even rabble if you want, if you feel that would help.
This is really sweet of you, Winnie. Thank you.
Of course. You're headed out.
All right.
Onward.
So you guys start walking through the rain, cold rain, all the way towards the west to the Silent Lake Asylum, which has a big open area with a building that's in the center of it, surrounded by a fence. Both Dav and Euphemia have been here, so they have seen this location before. But there is a front gate that you are able to go to, where it looks like Edison is waiting for you there when you arrive. And he's got just rain all over him too. He's drenched. And
cool.
he... Are you ready? He looks at you,
We've
Euphemia.
been ready.
Are you ready?
Sorry.
It's I need to be ready. So
Let's go.
I'll figure it out.
Got this.
So turns and starts walking up the pathway to the main building that's at the end of the path. There's a few other wings that are off of it, but he heads up there where there is
I'll go ahead and false life while we're walking up, just before we get in at second level.
second level. Okay.
Anytime we walk into mom house stuff, it's worth it.
You got a mishap.
Oh.
Spell works.
Okay.
And let me roll and see what you got.
You get 13 temporary hit points.
Ooh, that's a lot for you. I mean, that's a lot in general, but that's
I'm sorry, 12. But yeah, it's a lot for him.
that is a lot. Good job.
Okay.
Kind of joked this spell for the longest time. I'm like, it's actually kind of cool.
Okay.
Oh dear.
Uh-oh.
all of a sudden you start getting really dizzy, and like everything is like blurry for you. Like your eyes are not focusing on anything, or your one eye isn't focusing like properly right now.
Too real.
Oh.
Too real.
And it's like as you are kind of like you're kind of like stumbling and like losing your step a little bit, seem very disoriented. Everyone just kind of can see him like swaying as he's walking, and
We're fine. We're good. We're good.
I'll try and like
Everybody-
support him.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'll try
Yeah.
and like support him up because I'm the strength to do it.
Mishap. Sorry.
Yeah.
Not sure what's up with that one.
anybody who
Hopefully
looks at
it goes
him,
really
like his eye is just like rolling in his socket.
Yeah. Oh
Ew.
no.
Ew.
no.
I hate that.
No.
You
It's going to
Are
do
you-
great from appearances.
do you need to sit down for a minute? You look like you're gonna fall over.
Might not be the best place to walk into an insane asylum looking like this. That's all.
Edison turns to you. They do not appreciate spells being cast within the property. Please refrain.
Gotcha. Didn't mean to. Probably should have done it beforehand.
Eleanor gives him a look, but he misses it probably.
Totally.
I
Eleanor
would be
ignored this.
She was opening her mouth to like ask about protocol, and then he cast the
Yeah.
spell, and she's just like, so she looks pretty
Every
annoyed.
time.
But
Every
yeah,
time.
In my mind is before we went
It's-
through the gate, but I did call it late, so that's my bad.
yeah. But she will say, is there any other protocol we should be aware of, Edison, before anyone makes any other moves?
You are a guest here. Please be respectful of all staff. They do what they can to keep people safe here. Do not wander off, as there are potentially dangerous individuals who are here. And no more spells. Understood?
If there's an emergency, like an attack, no spells then? Are there exceptions?
If there is an emergency, I'm sure they would understand the usage of spells. But do not just do it.
Of course.
No.
Alright, let's continue. Starts walking back up. Dab,
Does this go away at all? Or is it
support,
still-
still supported by Winnie for a little bit, but about
I'm-
like 30 seconds after starting to walk back up, you kind of regain your footing, your eye settles down a little bit.
Oh my god.
We're good. Sorry.
Alright.
I did not.
I'm
like that
walking
one.
next to Edison and I'm staring straight ahead. Like I'm just trying to lock myself into where we're going and shove my hands in my pockets and not look too nervous, but
So, he leads you up. And a reminder, you are here under my authority. So, he walks in and walks up to like the front reception desk area, and kind of begins to explain himself that he's here with an appointment to see Lucetta Dryden. And they, of course, and it looks like an orderly comes along and begins to guide you through some hallways where you begin to hear like the ramblings of some people in rooms and just like general kind of asylum vibes as you go. People kind of wandering, glazed look on their face as you're passing more and more. And eventually you get down to a slightly more like open room where there's a few people who are at tables. And yes, question.
Does it seem like as we're walking through and such, does it seem like the people are being like taken care of and treated well, or is like does the staff seem kind? Like is this kind of seem like a generally good facility, or does it have like kind of like I don't know.
Are you
I
good-
checked the aesthetics.
Are you looking for more facility appearance or
Mhm.
like the demeanor of
I'd say
staff
Demeanor of the staff.
or
Yeah, demeanor
demeanor
of the
of
staff.
patients?
I'd say demeanor of staff and how they seem to be treating patients, because like
Okay.
patients could be, that kind of
So
thing.
it could be an insight check for that.
I don't think what did I say? 16.
I'll do the patience if you don't mind, because I'm kind of paying close attention to this whole thing.
Sure.
So place.
After
So join.
Facility.
17.
So, I mean, the patients, they seem like they are clean. They are, I mean, not always there mentally. Like, some of them are a little more, it seems like, but none of them seem like they're, I don't know, anything that stands out as concerning to you, patient-wise, from what you'd expect to see. The staff, they seem like they're just kind of keeping monitor. They don't look like they're being mischievous and like whispering about you guys as you're walking in. They just kind of look like they're doing their job, minding their business and keeping an eye on people.
Even like the interactions you see with like the patients and stuff, it seems like fine, professional. Nothing seems like it's
I mean, you're just
shady or weird.
walking by stuff, so you're not getting a good long look at anything, but you're not noticing anything that concerns you as you walk through.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
But you get led to this larger room that has like 4 people in there with a couple orderlies who are there. And they motion over towards the window where, seated in a chair, kind of like looking out the window, you see your mother, Euphemia. I think I have art
Is
for that.
she
Let me
look-
grab that.
You have art for her! Oh,
You
wait,
do
no.
have art for her.
Let me
Whoa.
grab the art.
Rachel drew it so long ago.
Yeah, I did a while ago.
It was a long time.
Let's see if I can get this pulled up.
Edison is so cool.
So cool. Look at him.
The coolest.
A
As soon as I
D4
did
is
the
right in your
GIF, it was
face.
like all the noir stuff, and then it's like Ken as I was like, Dab's the Ken of the group.
Honestly,
pink.
it was so good.
So cool.
I have a D4. I'm gonna move it because it's right in the face of her mother.
Ah, it's fun.
There we go.
Oh
I'm gonna move it there.
Yeah, that works.
But yeah, that's, you see this woman with long gray hair, just kind of glazed out, looking at the window, and
no. Okay. I am going to take a deep breath, and then I will step up, maybe just like 5 feet behind her, or off to the side a little bit, where if she looked up, she would see me.
Mhm.
And then after like a prolonged moment, I would say really quietly, "Hey, Mom," and just see if she says anything.
And before I want to break any moments, I'm like close to Euphemia probably the whole of this interaction to be looking for signs, or if I need to, do something.
Edison
I see
is in a
something
position too
happening.
where he looks like he's in a spot to kind of watch both your mother and you, Euphemia, in this, and gauging a lot of it. He's very much so watching. But you approach and you say like hello. She just continues to stare out the window. She doesn't seem like she looks over.
Okay. Then after a second or two, I will dig the bouquet out of my coat that I picked this morning and kind of straighten it up a little bit. And I'm gonna walk up next to her and I'll just put it in her lap.
She looks down at it, picks it up. She looks at it and she looks up at your face.
And I'll say again, I'll just say hi, Mom, again, really quietly.
Effie?
Yeah, it's me. I'm like searching her face to see if she remembers anything else. You know, or if there's any kind of flicker that I notice.
She suddenly like sends her hand out and grabs onto your wrist with a
Okay.
tight squeeze.
Mm-hmm.
Not real. Not real.
I'm real, Mom. It's me. It's been a long time. I know. I'll try and put my other hand gently on her shoulder while I'm talking.
She continues to just like squeeze onto your wrist. Just looks kind of downward. Not real. Not real.
I'm here, though. I'm real. I know you said you used to say that about Maribel.
And she just kind of continues to mutter, not real. Not real.
I'm not gonna pull my hand away from her. Like, I'll just leave my hand there and not fight it if she's squeezing it. But I will, with my other hand, try and pull out at least the picture of like a picture of her and my dad, and just kind of hold it out where she can see it.
As you kind of put that under her eyes, she stops saying like the not real part and loosens her grip on your wrist and lets it go. She just looks like she's staring at it.
I'm just gonna start talking really softly, basically kind of nonsensical, I would say almost. It's just sort of like a do you remember this day with you and Dad? And I was wondering what you were doing, and you know, it was probably before me and Maribel came along. Like just kind of starting to talk really quietly to her and see if she'll kind of calm down a little bit. And maybe if she'll even respond at some point. But even pointing out like things in the background that she might recognize if there's like the house or anything like that, and just trying to orient her, I think, a little bit would be my intention.
She doesn't say anything, but she reaches out and grabs the picture and just kind of like holds it in both hands, looking at it.
You can keep that one if you want. I know it's been a long time, and I'm sorry I didn't come to see you before.
As you're standing there, goes into the mishap level. You already got one, Ashley. Okay.
Oh no! Whoopsie.
As you're standing there, you hear like footsteps, and what looks like a doctor comes up to you, a woman, and she kind of comes close to you. You must be your family, or?
I'm her daughter, Euphemia.
Nice to meet you. I'm Dr. Tabner.
Have you been treating her?
I have been doing treatment with many of the patients here, yes.
This is pretty normal for her? Would you say she's been the same, or has she declined over the years? I know it's been a long time.
This is pretty common. Seems a little more vocal now that you're here. But occasionally, she does say things about how she wasn't real and being watched.
Yeah, that's what she used to say too. I'm kind of like studying my mom's face, and then I just kind of say, I wish I knew if she was happy in there. It's hard to tell.
Euphemia, if you would like, there is a somewhat experimental treatment that I've been working on that potentially could give maybe a little deeper insights into the mind of your mother. You would be interested in doing something like that.
An experiment on who?
It would allow you to enter her mind and maybe get some deeper understanding.
Have you done it at all before?
It's still early stages of experimentation, and there are risks involved. But if you're interested, I can go over those with you. We can prepare for that.
Just kind of glance up at, I guess I'll glance up at Edison and see what his expression is like.
You can give me an insight roll for that.
Okie doke. I'll use my bless so that it doesn't stack again.
Sure.
Let's see. 15.
15. He seems like he is intrigued by this, but he's kind of watching to see your response at this point.
Okay. Would it take long? Do you know?
Depends on what we're hoping to discover. I would be the one who would have to guide it. And you and if anybody else would like to may also go in, as there are challenges in navigating a mind like this that may not allow someone to reach the destination that they're hoping to. But the more who are there, the better odds, I guess. But again, there are risks.
Of course.
Is there a reason why you're offering it to her specifically?
It's experimental. And when I was told that this pertains to a Watchlight investigation, maybe this would add some depth to that as well. And Addison actually
Shady.
nods at this point.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I was just gonna say she could have a piece that we're missing. She could be the only one that has it.
Or we could know what what she's talking about with some of it, or if she's trying to communicate anything, which she can.
Would you be interested in that? Should I set it up?
I'll glance at the rest of the party just to see if anybody's like,
What? Why don't you say what the risks are first, if you don't mind?
there she is. Euphemia was like, sign me up right now.
Yeah.
There is a risk of entering a mind that could be hostile and returning in a similar state as the mind you go into. But if there's a point that you feel like you should go no further, you can always leave.
So, would it be like if you push it too far, that's the risk of coming back in a similar manner, or what? I don't understand.
It is a risk that if you try to dig too far into a hostile mind, it could be having long-term effects. Yes.
Okay.
So we'd almost have to balance how much we dig. Is that what you're saying? Like, don't go too far, or
From
else.
the people who have tried this out before, it is like they reach a moment where they feel like they should go no further. And those who return at that point usually are all right. But we have had people who I'm assuming have pushed it beyond that point, and they do not return in a right mental state.
Does it do
And
any
is it
harm?
permanent?
The effects on those who do not come back, it does seem permanent.
And if, let's say, we push too hard, would Euphemia's mom be negatively affected, or just us?
I have not seen a negative effect on the patient in my testing, but again, this is experimental.
Okay. Euphemia, I'm in.
I just look at Davril and Euphemia, and I just look at them both, back and forth, and back and forth, just holding, like, the silence. And then I say, you two, a couple of reckless risk takers. I'm not stepping foot in there unless you both give me your word that you will turn back when you have that feeling, and you will not push it further.
I was waiting for Euphemia first.
I want to hear it.
I will. I'll stop.
She stops, I stop.
No. That's not good enough. You turn back.
She goes
Not
in, I'm going in with
contingent
her.
on hers.
You can turn back, but if she goes in, I'm staying with her. I'm willing to turn around. I'm not saying I'm going to fight to stay, but I'm not going to leave someone in there either. I'm willing to go forward and risk that. And I know you can't risk that.
Can't risk any of you being in that position. So,
It's going to be very hard to fix this curse if I come back fragmented.
yes.
So I understand what you're
I'm
saying.
glad you see the practicality then.
The doctor says it is each individual's choice when they return to. It is not a group decision. One person can go when they need to feel like they can leave. But I do caution against trying to push it too far. This is quite a serious matter.
Has groups gone in before?
There has been groups, yes.
Have they had different points of feeling like they cannot go further?
Yes.
Interesting. So that needs to be taken into account too.
It is an individual
So,
need to return.
so
To keep
Davril,
themselves
you
up.
must give your word that you will turn back when you have that
Okay,
feeling. You cannot wait for
okay.
her.
I understand.
Right. I want to hear the full sentence. Sorry.
Yes, Ma. When I feel the way to return, I will.
All right. And Winifred, I know you will do it.
I'm just I'm a little concerned. Is it like a clear feeling? Is someone can mistake as something else? Is it gonna Like, well, I think I feel it, and then I don't actually feel it, and I go through. I'm nervous about that. Is it distinct?
Those who have come back have said yes, they felt something. Again, it's hard to know though that threshold of too far, because those who have gone past that point do not come back the same.
Okay.
So
Is
All right.
there is a
From
sense
the
of
people that-
urgency to return, though. Those who have come back fine.
have the people that have gone in and come back, do they describe the experience to you at all? Is it similar for everyone, or is it very different depending on the person, the other subject?
There are some different descriptions based off of the mind of the patient, but it is generally I start with a more shallow memory and we attempt to go deeper from there. Medicine says I will do it too. This may have use.
I think she might be able to help if we can get to her.
We'll set it up in a few minutes. She walks off.
I'm just like, I have my hand on my mom's shoulder, I think, while we're talking too.
She's just holding that picture, like staring at it right now.
Oh.
You wait a few minutes, and probably about 5-10 minutes or so, and the doctor returns. All right, please come with me. And she approaches your mom, kind of helps get her up from the chair. You all follow to a back room where there is a bed that's laid out. She has your mom lay down on it. There are chairs that surround it. All right, please have a seat, everybody.
Sit down, probably close to her head, I would think.
She takes out these headbands that have a blue gem that would rest on the forehead. She starts to put them on your heads one by one.
I think it takes a while for Eleanor to sit down, to be honest. She seems like she does not want to do this. She seems so on edge.
She'll put it on those who are
it's kind
seated.
of
She doesn't.
Yeah, I'm not
pressure
sitting
you at
down
all.
for the moment. I like.
Eleanor, you don't have to come with us.
You don't need to do this if you don't want to.
I mean, how vital is it that a group goes versus alone? I mean, I don't know if I understand.
There is
I'm
a
asking the
group even
doctor,
if you
but-
stay.
Yeah.
The one thing I will say is those who go in, there are potential to try and protect those around them from harm. So groups seem to have a way of keeping those around them safe to a point. There is a point where they may exert themselves too much, and it may actually force them to leave early if they push it too far, but you can almost create a protection around you from the hostilities of a mind. But it is totally up to you if you would like to go in or not. There's no pressure.
If you need to stay, it's okay. There's enough of us we probably can manage.
Seriously.
Man, it's hard when a character is like super torn. Um, can I just? I feel like the group would be pretty accepting. What's Edison's read as like this whole like everything's been going down?
You can give it an insight roll.
Okay. Oh no, so bad. Oh
Dear.
hey, look, I feel like though we're about to end. Should I use my advantage? I don't know.
You want to?
I don't know.
You
Why
want to use
not? Sure.
it? Using the advantage? Okay.
Yeah, 20.
20. He does not look like he cares one way or another what you do. He just looks like he's
Okay.
determined to go in and get results.
I wasn't sure if future relationships of like alliances depended on it or not. So
You don't get a sense of that.
sure. So she'll say, is there anything that others can do to aid them from out here, or is it only inside that?
It's only inside.
Oh, give me a minute. And I will like I'll take out I'll just take out my normal notebook, like a piece of paper. I'll basically like I just scribble something. And it's essentially like directions to whoever might be around of if the worst is to happen, this is what I want done. Like instructions essentially. And then I kind of like put it sort of like my bag will be closed, but I have it like on top of my bag, so like if someone were to like look at it, like they'd find it.
Okay.
Kelly, I thought she was making a pros and cons list.
Bro.
No, it makes them sit there for like 45 minutes like a sheet.
Deliberate
Word out.
back and forth.
Oh my gosh.
That's gonna get up at one point because they're probably looking at this stone like, ah, that's cool. But then he'll get up seeing you freak out. He'll up and just lean in so only you can hear. No one's gonna judge you either way, but if you do go, it's okay if you're the first one out. No one will think anything otherwise.
I can't risk anything. I just hope everyone
know.
knows that.
We don't want you to.
You shouldn't risk anything if you think it's that important. And that's perfectly fine.
Alright, I'll do what I can. But as long as you keep your word, then I will feel better.
Promise.
So she finally sits down after.
The doctor puts
Is
the headband on.
the gem similar at all?
It's different
Yeah, I was
looking than your
wondering that
gem. It's not the same.
Is it something he's seen before, or is this new?
You get a sense this is a sapphire.
Sapphire. Okay. So more of a focus than anything.
Seems like it. You can give me an Arcana check if you'd like.
Fancy.
I think 14? 15.
15.
Mm-hmm.
You almost like you know there is some connection to how sapphires can have some connections to divination spells.
Mm.
So this may be part of a focus of this experimental treatment.
Cool.
All of you are seated now? Okay, so each one of you get a headband put on your head. Alright. She goes and just a reminder. You can choose to exert yourself. Some of you may feel like you have more ability to than others. To protect those around you. You may do that. And again, I caution you, do not stay beyond what you are able. And she will put another headband on top of Lucetta's head and touch the gemstone on it. It begins to light up, at which point you feel each of you begin to kind of lose the sense of the room as you watch Lucetta's eyes fall. And all of you find yourself in a different environment than the room. You kind of look like you are standing on, or floating, I guess more, you're like floating with a black void in front of you, like a mass of swirling blackness ahead of you. You can see all 5 of you as you do this. You do not see your mother, but all 5 of you are there. Also, all of you feel like you've lost that connection to that weird mishap tingle on the back of your neck at this point.
Yeah.
You no longer feel that connection at this point.
Whoa.
So, you sit there, and you hear this voice of the doctor begin to say, "All right, Lucetta, let's go back to when Maribel was very young." He watches the swirling fog kind of begins to turn and create almost like a tunnel with a little bit of light that you begin to see at the end of it.
I'm gonna just start going forward slowly if it looks like the way is opening up.
I just like briefly touch like Winnie's arm. Does it feel like solid, or are we kind of like incorporeal, or?
You move your hand and it goes straight through her form, as it doesn't seem like this is a physical thing that's going on right now.
Do I feel it when she does that?
You definitely like have like a sense of something touching you, but it's odd to watch somebody's like hand pass through your arm.
Okay,
but
got it.
You do feel like a general sense like you could send out an energy maybe from you that would create a little bit of temporary protection. Mechanically speaking, it is your wisdom modifier. That is the number of times you can do that.
Okay.
Oh,
Nice.
So
sorry, I was reading something. Repeat that again. Wisdom modifier for
you
what?
can send out a little energy of protection temporarily. That is your wisdom modifier. If you're 0 or negative, you unfortunately do not have any ability to do that for free. You can still do that though, from what the doctor said, is you can put it out there. It just would be at some penalty to you if you would like to use that. But you can send out that energy if you'd like to. I will also, I'm keeping track of your stability points, and there's going to be the fine category, there's going to be the midpoint, and there's going to be the danger point. And that is based off of your wisdom score. So the higher your wisdom score is, the more points you have. The lower your wisdom score, the more risk you have. So
yeah, are we going through points? Sorry, I missed some of that too. It's a lot of new mechanics.
Yep.
I got it.
Basically, the higher your wisdom score is, the more you can take. The lower the wisdom score, the less you can take. There's good, middle, and danger that are the categories. I'll let you know when you reach each category. All of you are good right now.
Oh, so you'll tell us. It's not like almost ambiguous even. Like we'll know when we're in the categories.
I will let you know once you reach that point. So
Okay.
So yes. How would you like to proceed?
Yeah, I think Euphemia is just. Are we floating? I'm gonna float.
Yeah, you start
forward.
floating towards that tunnel, towards that light. Okay.
Yeah.
Anybody
It
else?
is my mom, so I feel like I'm just gonna start.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just
That was-
also just say, like, is everyone feeling all right? Just to even see if we could talk or not.
You can communicate to each
Can we
other.
talk?
Yes.
Okay. Sounds good.
I have 2 eyes here.
I'm gonna say no. You do not have 2 eyes at this.
Okay, interesting. Kind of curious.
This form matches your
Like
physical
what
form.
we're currently, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, cool. I wasn't sure if it was more of a mental projection of us or
That is
a copy
interesting.
of the
though.
physical. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, the form that you're
Uh,
taking looks like it is a copy of your current form.
It's probably like pressing his eye. Okay, all right. I'm good. And he's gonna just
Okay.
push forward to kind of be like at a backup spot for Euphemia. That's
Okay.
kind of, in general, where he's gonna be is just support for her and kind of get her back up.
Okay. Anybody else doing anything?
I'll wait for Eleanor to go ahead, and I'll kind of take up the rear, just to kind of make sure that, I don't know, like if since
Mhm.
Eleanor was like very concerned, I'm like, I'll take, like, if there's anything, I don't know, dangerous. Then,
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Do I feel like I could cast things as like I kind of start to move forward too?
You do not feel a connection to magic at this point.
Interesting. Okay, that was my other question. So I'll go forward as well.
Okay. So all of you, Edison also goes with you all. You begin to travel through this darkness. Swirling smoke around. As you pass through, there are these forms that shriek out from there and like go through and take like a, looks like they're flying directly at you. Winnie, one comes flying in your direction and like brings out a hand and it slices like into your form and you feel like your mental state gets affected from that. So let me roll for how much you take for damage.
right.
Okay. You are still in the good category at this point. And 2 move their direction towards you, Dav. Both do come into contact with you.
Then we can try and protect ourselves, you're saying?
Yeah, is there a barrier? You said there's a barrier or something?
There is, but nothing was
Okay.
up. So
Oh, so I'd have to do it beforehand. Okay.
Yes.
I wasn't sure if it was like a
It's
shield.
not a
or
reaction.
Oh, I didn't. I thought it
It
was
is
like
not.
a reaction or something. Oh.
Yep.
Would have been able to do
this
it
is
if
a
I saw
learning
them
one.
going towards
This
us?
is a learning one.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
Okay.
That's fair.
So
That's good to know.
you see these 2 forms come towards you, Dav, and they go through you as you enter the midpoint
Yeah.
with this one. Both forms hit you.
Yeah, this is not good. I'm not gonna last long.
Do you
But
We'll
no
take
one else
it.
Do you
gets
have any-
hit.
If you need to leave.
Yeah, watch out for those things.
have any protection you can use for yourself?
Oh,
We'll figure it out. She said we could.
No, I mean, do you though? Like, do you have any?
If
I'm
I-
trying to metagame. I don't know. I
I
don't
put
know
one
if Dab
up-
is able to do anything.
If I put one up, does it feel like it would extend? Like,
You realize like it was when you started going down this that the creatures came out of the mist, the smoke. So as you're like flying through, that's when they came through, but you're reaching the point of the light by the time that you're getting there.
okay,
So-
okay.
so it'd almost be like if we go into another like section
Prior
is when we
to-
would
The
want
next
to
time.
be
Yep,
careful.
okay.
Okay.
prior
Yep.
to
All right.
going through, that's when would be the best time
Gotcha.
to use it.
Gotcha.
Based
You're
on
learning.
what Winnie says, though, Dav's gonna try and he's gonna try and cast Sanctuary on himself. Let's see if it works here.
There is no spell. And all these
None of my spells.
all these raise mishap levels, we'll see what they end up coming towards at the end, because that one was supposed to go to Kelly, and
boy.
unfortunately she did have got one. Okay. So you though reach this light that looks like as it takes form, you are viewing almost from the perspective of your mother. and you see a young baby,
Mhm.
Maribel, in her arms.
Oh.
You feel a general sense of joy. All of you feel this too. You feel happiness
Okay.
and joy as this young girl is sleeping in the arms of Lucetta. And she looks up from looking at the child, looks over, and sees a young Euphemia come running up.
It's
Here.
me. I'm like 6.
Yep, young
Aw.
6-year-old Euphemia. And she says, have a seat. And she has you sit down in a chair, and she hands Maribel over to Euphemia. And just feel this like tremendous sense of joy and pride as she's looking at these two children. Ivan, the father of Euphemia, comes in, which I don't think anybody has met, so this is just you would
Except
only know.
me.
This is the first time you guys have seen
Yeah.
his face as he comes in, and Lucetta walks over and like gives him a side hug as she watches her children. And just you feel that sense of joy and happiness that just fills each of you as you're sitting there.
That's my dad.
Do they seem
Did we
to
see each other, or are we like in the memory so we can't see each other for a minute?
It's-
How is this working?
It's like you guys are like pushed up against a glass looking in at the memory
Mhm.
from her perspective. You're all like there,
I see.
but so you can see each other. But yeah, it's from her perspective you're watching.
How
Okay, so it's
forced
not like
is the... Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, go. No, you're fine. You're fine.
I was just wondering how much are the emotions prevalent? Do they take over any we might be feeling?
I don't know if it would take over, but you sense it. It's like you feel that
You sense
emotion there in that moment.
Okay. I think if that's the case, then I think Eleonora like looks away and looks like she's trying to like compose herself. She doesn't want to watch that.
A little bit going on with Dav too, but he's kind of being there for Euphemia. But there's
Mhm.
a little bit of silence just coming up from him.
Yeah, she doesn't say anything.
I don't know
As-
that I would even notice that because I'm pretty
fine.
lost
I would
in
hope
like
not.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
need
all
to
of the
be. Yeah,
memory.
you need to be
Yeah.
watching this. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like okay, Winnie is like not really having much emotion on this, but it's like very. Because I obviously I'm sensing the joy and stuff, but she's still very like nervous and worried about like. Am I? I guess if we're like looking at glass, like, is there any sense of like danger around or behind us? Like, am I getting anything, or is it basically we're in this memory now and there's that's it? I don't know if that makes any sense, but
I mean, there's like the smoke all around you, but you just see the memory in front of you right now.
okay, all right. I'm gonna try to keep watch kind of everywhere, including memory, but like kind of looking around too, not losing sight of where we're at.
You hear the voice of the doctor continue. And as they grew up, you watched them get older. And the shadow begins to overtake the memory that you guys are watching. And a tunnel begins to open again towards another light.
I'm gonna send like if I like use a protect like my one protection thing.
Yep.
Do I feel like that is extending to everybody? Like if I stay in the middle, if I can have everyone around me, is that something that can happen?
You feel like it will offer some sort of protection, but you're not quite sure.
We're like experimenting, I think, as
Yep.
we go.
Okay.
So yeah.
Would you like to use
I'll
it?
do that then.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah. Because I want to save anything Euphemia has, and I don't know. I feel like if Dab's already not doing so well, but I'll make sure that I'm using that.
And we can all kind of cluster together.
Mechanically, you can only use one per travel too. So if you have multiple, you can't use like all of them at the same time. Just heads up. But
I mean, per travel, you mean like section?
yes.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
so Winnie has activated hers. Anybody else want to do anything before we proceed?
So you said only one person can activate it at a time?
You can only activate one yourself.
Oh, okay. Sure. I only have one as well.
So
But
it's up to you if you want to save
I
it
can
or if you
use-
want to.
Yeah. I mean, I can use one if we think we want to try.
I guess we don't know how much it protects. Yeah, if it protects
the
one
thing.
person or like.
It might be good
Yeah.
to try.
And
at
she
least
did say
two, so
like
we can
the
cluster together.
the more outer rim will be probably less hostile
Oh,
than when you go
true.
deeper. So
Yeah.
So maybe it's
That's what I was
okay to
thinking,
risk
yeah.
it
I'll
here.
save it, most of it.
Yeah.
and
Mhm.
Okay.
Stick next to money. Okay.
So just one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can like be in the middle and kind of have everyone around me.
Yeah.
So
as much as
Eleanor just
possible.
takes a second to like kind of rip herself away from like that longing, you know,
Yeah.
you
holding your child, and then she just kind of like comes closer.
you begin to proceed downward, and you see this like smoke is a little bit darker and thicker as you're progressing down closer to this next memory. You watch as forms begin to emerge from the darkness once more and coming and shrieking towards you. This time, two come towards you, Eleonora. One's coming towards Dav, but like the protection that Winnie offers, it seems to like hit something and bounce
Ooh.
off.
That's
And another one just like streaks through, but doesn't seem to hit anybody. But the two coming towards you, Eleonora, one looks like it's like coming at you, and then it just misses you entirely as it streaks by with speed. The second one that does come into contact with you.
Oh, I thought we were all close to Winnie. Is it only offering protection for one?
Correct. It seems to have knocked away one of them.
Oh.
It's
So-
just not a guarantee, maybe every time.
Yes. So basically, I'm rolling randomly how many attack you, and
It's like a AC thing, maybe.
the
Just trying to figure out the protection thing. That's
Yep.
all I'm trying
Yeah.
to figure
yep,
out.
you guys
So
are
I'm confused
experimenting
by-
this.
Sure.
She did put it up there, and one got deflected away.
Right.
So
Okay.
I
At
roll for
first
how
I thought
many
you
can
were
come
saying
attack.
Yeah, that's all fine. I'm just trying to track with what you're saying and
Yep,
like
yep,
make
yep,
sure
yep.
I'm understanding this.
But you do get hit, Eleonora. You're still in the good section, though, at this point. But you progress past this, and you make it through this tunnel to this next memory as you kind of press up against it and can begin to look through and see through Lucetta's eyes. Looks like Euphemia is about 8 years old, and Maribel's about 2 years old, and they're kind of toddling around outside, laughing, and they have a blanket laid out with some dolls on it. And again, you just feel this joy, this sense of joy as she's looking in at these children playing together, laughing, and Euphemia has like the dolls that she's playing with Maribel, and she starts giggling and having that kind of like childish laugh. Very much so, lots of joy. Euphemia, you know this is a time where she was healthy and well.
Okay.
There's
I
no
would actually
sickness at this
mention
point.
that. I would mention that at least out loud to whoever's nearby and just say she wasn't sick yet. This is a good time.
But you hear that voice of the doctor continue. But then Maribel got sick. And this vision begins to fade away again. It's one more and overtaken by the shadow and smoke. And a new tunnel appears.
I may like look at you guys and be like, I don't know if this is possible. Oh, actually, really fast. Sorry. Do the figures seem like they are able, like, to target any one of us depending on where we're at, or is it like if we were gonna make like a ring around, like, because we basically want Euphemia to progress the furthest. So if we were gonna make like a ring around her, does it seem like they were able to get through to whoever? I don't know if that makes sense. You know, like if we were able to protect the people, or does it seem like it's not?
They streak
doesn't matter?
through, and whoever they hit, they hit.
Mhm.
And
Okay, so that doesn't. So formation doesn't seem to matter at all. It just is
Yeah.
basically
like
random.
you didn't specifically
Okay.
protect Dav, but he got the protection that round. So
Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
Interesting.
So-
Oh, you guys be like, I think that's all I had. I feel okay though, but I don't think I have anything else to help.
Do we want to save it, or do we want to
I think we want
start rationing out now?
to
Well,
maybe start rationing.
we are a
Let's
few
slowly
years
start
off.
getting.
I'm
Yeah.
not sure how fast these memories move.
Think we should maybe use. I don't know.
I feel like I
maybe
have
one.
about one in me, and that's
Okay.
it.
The one.
Do you want me to do it now?
The better we're protected now, the further we go.
True.
More answers Euphemia gets.
Yeah, maybe use it.
Sure. What about the rest of you? How many do you feel you have in you?
Can go a
Right.
while, I think.
I'd have to push myself.
Do you want to use one as well, Euphemia, or should you want to save it? I don't know if we should use two at the same time, but
Save it for the
I-
next one.
I think it might get worse as we go, so it may be better if I hold on
I'm
to them.
wondering.
The further we can project you forward, the better you can
Yeah,
get answers.
I agree. All right, I'll use mine then.
So one?
Edison. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Edison will use one as well. So I will help out and keep this safe for this one too.
Cool.
So. You begin to travel through as you sense the darkness closing in around you. You watch as 3 forms come streaking out, but 2 of them get reflected away. But the
Woohoo!
one that does not comes at you, Winnie.
Okay.
And will connect with you.
yeah.
As you enter into that middle range.
Okay.
But you progress past this tunnel up to the next memory. Immediately you're hit with a sense of concern and worry that is hitting you. You see a young girl about age 4, Maribel. You see Euphemia about age 10. Maribel's coughing, looks rather sickly. As Euphemia looks like she's trying to help her, giving her some food. Well, you watch as the eyes go to the children, and she looks like she's talking to Dr. Bannett.
Oh yeah, he would have been there.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm very concerned about her. This cough hasn't gone away. And doctor, yes, I will see what I can do. Continue to use the regimen I gave you, and hopefully it will clear up. I will do some looking around to see what I can find. Usually, children get better quickly. But that sense of concern continues to be there. You even see it on a young Euphemia's face at this point.
Yeah, big concern.
But you hear the voice of the doctor, Dr. Tabner. And that's when it started for you, didn't it, Lucetta?
Uh-oh.
That's when things seem to get worse for you. As the memory fades away, darkness overtakes it, and a new tunnel appears with another light near the end of it. This darkness kind of continues to close in around you more and more. You guys are getting deeper and deeper.
I can use one if we think that would be good.
I'm gonna push myself to use one.
Dad, you're going to push yourself to use one? Okay.
Yep.
Now, what was the push yourself? Sorry, I missed that part of the mechanic. I almost wish it was.
Me
I'm
too.
sorry. I wish it was almost typed out so I could read it
Yep.
because it's a
No,
lot of
it's-
things to remember all
If
at
you
once.
push yourself, it just could make a risk to your well-being in this state. Because, Dab, as you do that, you get the sense that you are in the danger zone now.
So you may need to
So we
Do we
got
know?
Dav is 1.
Now, is that relating to the feeling of having to pull out?
That's
We're getting
related
close
to
now.
like you are running out of the mental points to be able to keep this. If you leave though,
So-
your 1 goes away and your protection would be gone.
Yeah. No, I'm
So,
just wondering, like, is low that urgency, or is low meaning I'm running on low to get to urgency of
this
feeling to
is
pull out?
the last level before you would hit 0.
Like,
Yeah.
if you get hit, you might be done.
This is the danger
you should-
zone.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Like you should probably peace out. I don't know. That's my.
He's
It's
gonna-
like basically we don't have any ability to like. Okay, never mind. Sorry, I'm
Like
confused.
we
here, but
don't know
continue.
though necessarily what he's feeling, so I guess we only know what he's
Yep.
saying.
You just know that you offered a protection, and Dav, you feel the danger zone right now. But that's 1. We got 1 for Dav. Anybody else doing any?
I said I did one.
Okay,
I'll
Euphemia
do
is
1.
for 2.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then if I'm in the good zone still, right?
You are still feeling like you're in the good zone.
So like if I push myself for more memory, then it might offer more protection as well, type of thing.
Yep, but it's at your
Okay.
expense.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. So anybody can do that. I guess my only other question, I don't want to metagame, but how straight a face is Davril being able to play if he knows that he's pushing himself
And he
know.
promised.
and he promised
He
me?
swore.
So like
I mean, he didn't
want
feel
to
it
be
until
able to
he
tell
did
them.
his thing. So,
Yeah.
So
right.
now he knows.
No, I'm not here much longer, but we'll get you through the next part.
Oh, all right. So you're not doing well.
Like I said, I have to push myself. So we'll see how this goes.
All right.
Puts his hand out to Euphemia and just
Do we need to do one more
You got
protection
this.
then, so Davril does not go insane?
I say we do one more. I can push myself, but I will be also in the same place as Dab. So
Well, I
I
can.
say-
I'm doing all right.
okay.
Fine. I will do it as well.
so you're pushing yourself as well?
Yeah. Then you
As-
get out there, Davril.
As you do that, you feel yourself enter into that middle state.
Middle. Okay.
You're at 3. Okay, anybody else? Ready to proceed forward.
Yes.
You begin to head through. As you watch as 6 forms begin to descend upon you, 3 get repelled back.
Rawr.
1 just sails right between 2 of you, nearly hitting Dav. But 2 then come in and come at Edison, and we'll see how he does. Edison gets hit by 1. Okay.
How are
You
you
guys
feeling?
make it through.
I'll ask him. All right, I said, how are you feeling?
I'm fine. Let's keep going.
Okay.
But you progress and get to this memory. This memory is much more like visually shaky at this point. Like the lines seem a little blurry and like they're like dancing around a little bit. As it's clear you've entered into like an unstable memory of Lucetta. You feel fear and paranoia as you're onlooking this. And you overhear a conversation between Ivan and Dr. Bannett across the room, just hearing words here and there. I don't know what it is. And Ivan, she just keeps getting worse, muttering. And you hear like a voice of Dr. Bannett. Heaven's Reach is an option. But you just continue to hear these, like, or watch this shaky memory as the lines again are all jagged in this memory. That feeling of fear and paranoia. As the eyes of Lucetta turn and look to the bed where Euphemia is caring for a Maribel who is lying there in bed. Does not look like she's doing well.
She's still pretty. I would say. I mean, I guess it's hard to tell, huh? If she's a little older or not.
Yeah, she's
At
probably
this point.
about 5 or so, 4 or 5.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, would it be a year before she died because of the Heaven's Reach conversation? Because he said
I
it was a
think so.
year. Yeah,
That was
okay.
kind of what I was guessing. Yeah.
And then you hear the
Does-
voice of yes. Anything?
Does Maribel look almost like warped or weird in her perspective right now?
She's a bit
Everything
normal.
kind of does at this point,
Okay.
but yeah, there's nothing like too much that stands out to you besides the entirety of the vision kind of being shaky and weird now.
Okay. That makes sense.
But you begin to hear the voice of the doctor outside this whole scenario. And that's when you said you started seeing things, wasn't it? That's when you felt like you saw other things. The memory fades and a new tunnel appears.
Dev, are you
All
gonna
right.
go?
Time to go, Devril.
Yeah, how's he feeling?
Dav? You're in the danger zone still.
Yeah, so he's feeling that
60
urgency.
minutes.
You feel that danger or at risk for yourself at this point.
You
Yeah,
promised.
Like I promised you guys.
Thank
Be
you for
careful,
making a
okay?
promise. Okay, Eleanor. Thanks. If Eleanor, if we're just feeling fine, but last time six those things came at us. If we have more than that, and if we don't have, even if Euphemia has like one protection, are we in danger of? Actually, okay, Mark, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay. Basically, if we were gonna get, let's say I got hit like 3 times in this one instance, would that count as like one going down to the danger zone, or basically every hit takes me down further? So like, if I'm fine now, if I got hit 3 times, like, well, I'm insane. I can't help it. You know what I mean? Is that what it
There's
is?
a risk of something like that happening. If you're
Yeah.
that unfortunate, yes.
So do we need to pull out then? Let's look at. Do we need to leave? To Eleonora.
Edison, how are you feeling? Can you offer more protection as well, along with Euphemia? So at least we have
I can
2.
offer protection, yes.
All right. So we
So
could potentially
Edison
go one
will-
more.
Edison will go and activate
I'll
his.
do 1 too then.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we got 2.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay.
And we'll see if we can at least go one more.
Dab, are you
And
leaving?
if I have a. Yeah.
Davril, you
I
need to
mean-
leave.
Euphemia just said you promised
Dad just goes up and gives Euphemia a hug.
a non-corporeal hush.
Yep.
You
Mhm.
got this. You know, I always interact with the familiar. It's fine. I'm used to these. You got this. And then he'll focus on leaving.
Okay. You blow yourself away. Dab disappears from sight from all of you.
Eleanor just breathes a sigh of relief.
I have a question. Do
Mhm.
we have a feeling that we'd be able to blink out, like if I got attacked again and I'm like, I'm in the danger zone, could I blink out like after being attacked before another one? Does that feel like something that could happen? No.
You get hit, and that's it. You get the results of the hit. You
I
leave
think she's
beforehand.
asking like if she knows she can take 2 hits, if she takes 1 hit, can she blink out between those 2, or does it have to be in between these segments?
It's not a reaction, it's an action to leave,
Yeah.
basically. Mechanically speaking. So
So it's in one of these.
it's up to you if you want to risk it or not. You're at 2.
Mm. And then how much did it feel like the hits took us down? I'm trying to
It
to
varies.
gauge that. It varies.
It
Okay.
varies.
You said I'm in mid. We're both in mid.
You're in
range.
mid, and
You're in
Winnie's in
mid.
mid. Euphemia is good.
Okay.
I'll look at Eleanor. I don't know. The thing is, if there's more of us, it gets more spread out. So like, that's my
So
only thought.
maybe we try one more.
Okay.
and then we leave. I don't know that we have much left in Euphemia.
Yeah.
We
Okay.
should be getting closer. If that is as far as you can go, that will be okay, I think.
Edison does say, you don't think you can offer anything else, there's no point for you being here.
I was kind of wondering the same thing, honestly.
So it's not like us being there makes it so there are, like, we take some hits so you guys don't have to, kind of thing.
You potentially could take hits away, something hits you instead. But
But
if
then
you have
there's the
nothing to
risk of it
protect,
being done.
you also
Yes.
could go away. It could affect you.
Yeah.
It's your choice
Yeah.
if you want to risk it or not.
Yeah.
I think I'm also done then.
Okay. Me too.
I'm sorry.
You don't be sorry. Thank you.
Please be safe, both of you.
Yeah. Don't.
Edison, I didn't make you promise, but I assume you will take care of yourself.
Of course.
Please don't. Please come back, all of you.
Okay.
And then
All right.
blink out.
So both of you leave.
Blink out. I guess what I do, I just kind of like take Euphemia's hand and I'm like, you will do well.
We'll try.
And then I blink out.
You're left there alone with Edison now. With this tunnel ahead of you, very dark and shadowy.
Yeah.
You have 2 protections up. Let's see what happens.
Okay.
As you float through, you watch as 7 forms appear.
Oh boy.
You look, and these
Uh-oh.
forms, as you kind of watch, now that you get a better look at them, they seem a little more solid, a little more defined than the previous ones, and they vaguely look like your mother in shape,
Oh,
with this
no.
long hair,
Mm-hmm.
gnarled, but it's all like smoke and shadowy as it slides through. 2 of them get deflected off. 5 of them will potentially make contact.
Oh boy.
All three of them that do make contact hit or target Edison. The other 2 swoosh
Oh boy.
by, missing entirely. Let me roll and see if any hit him. Miss, hit, and hit. He gets 2 hits.
Ooh, ouch.
Out of 5 is not that bad.
Okay. He continues onward though towards this memory as you both approach it.
I think after all those flew through, I would pause and look at him and be like, "Are you okay?
Fine.
Are you sure?"
Yes. And he goes up to the memory and starts watching it.
All right.
Okay. At this point, you feel heavy paranoia and that kind of energy of the verge of a freak out situation. As everything in this memory is shaking and jagged. All the trees are twisted. The fence posts are all twisted. Everything is very odd looking. Even the memory looks darker than most things that you've seen.
Oof.
But you feel like you're outside pacing. You sense that you're pacing back and forth outside your home. And it's just quick head turns looking around, suspecting somebody's watching and just continuing to look around.
I would even speak up and just say she did this a lot. All the time.
Just nods as he's watching. There's a sharp caw of a crow. Looks like there's a few of them clustered at the top of a tree, which she just quickly looks up, feel this energy freak out as she hears this.
Mm-hmm.
And then they caw a few times, and she looks like she relaxes slightly, and she looks over. And at this point, it's jump scare moment as you see this crooked face of something looking around a tree with a hood up, long, crooked nose, this dark skin.
Okay. Yeah.
These claws, like on these fingers that are reaching around the tree. Instantly, you feel this like heartbeat just and just freak out. As she turns away and quickly runs off and begins to like cry as she's moving away from it. A young Euphemia comes up to her aid. Mom, it's okay. It's okay. As Euphemia tries to calm her down. But that voice of the
That's hard to
doctor.
watch. Yeah. Ugh.
Once more, you hear the voice of the doctor. But what happened that night? Do you remember anything from that night, Maribel's death? What do you recall? As the memory fades away and gets absorbed in this darkness, and a new tunnel appears with a dim light at the end of it.
I immediately put up one of mine.
Edison will also put up another one. It's 2. That's max.
Let's go. That's all we can do.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Okay.
Proceed down this
Just like
tunnel.
glancing at him a little bit more, like starting to get a little bit nervous.
7 more descend upon you.
Oof.
2 get deflected away. Two whiz by you, but this time 3 versions of this twisted form of your mother converge on you, Euphemia, all coming in and slashing at you with these gnarled, clawed fingers.
Oof.
Let's see. Hit. Crit.
Oh no.
And a miss.
Okay.
So the first one goes through and it hurts a little bit. The second one connects with you as you feel yourself enter that middle range.
Okay.
Silvery vibes.
But you can approach this memory.
Okay.
A memory just feeling this is the night of Maribel's death.
We made it. We made it there.
There's a jolt up while in bed. This feeling of dread in your mother's chest as she gets up and begins to pace around. Just pacing back and forth in this house. Everything is like jagged and dark around her as she paces around in the dark. Hearing the floorboards creaking underneath her feet. Her heart is pounding. She's looking around like she's sensing something's watching her. Feel like the hairs on the back of her neck are all standing up. When as she's pacing, she gets locked in position, unable to move. You feel that panic rise in her more and more as she's looking forward towards an open window that evening. She sees a crooked face looking in with a finger outstretched pointed towards her as she's just locked in position. Out of the corner of her eye, she watches the door to the front door open, and a small form about the size of Maribel begins to walk in. It doesn't look like her, though. It's like a kind of weird amorphous form. It begins to walk over towards the bed where both you, with Euphemia as a child, and Maribel slept. Another cloaked form walks in behind through the door, and another walks in behind this small form. could hear the floorboards creaking as they approach the bed where you were sleeping. Heartbeat. Panic is setting in for your mother. As you begin to hear slashing sounds. As one of the forms begins to walk out of the house holding what looks like Maribel. But you continue to hear the slashing sounds over by the bed. As the one form leaves.
And it's
And
the
now-
cloaked form carrying the one that looks like. Okay.
It's a cloaked form who looks like they're carrying potentially Maribel in their arms. Hearing
Mm-hmm.
the second one maybe slashing on the other side of the room.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That feeling of panic and sadness and terror is pounding in your mother as the second form begins to leave, and you can see a dagger in its hand as it leaves and walks out the door. But your mother can only see out of the corner of her eye this crooked, twisted dagger.
Okay. Thank you. That's what I was gonna ask.
Her eyes locked kind of forward towards this window where she sees that third form that she saw initially just raise a finger and walk away from the window. That panic in your mother just continues to go, where she suddenly can move again. She begins pacing furiously back and forth across the house in the darkness, not able to see much of anything, just a little bit of a moonlight coming in from the window, but just pacing and panicking as the whole room is just vibrating and shaking in her mind. Suddenly a little candle light flickers back near the bed,
There it is.
and you hear kind of this like rustling sound, like a shaking sound happening. She looks over and she sees Euphemia shaking Maribel. You hear your mother's voice say, "Effie, are you real?" And Euphemia responds, "I'm here. I'm checking on Maribel."
I would say that in real life too, honestly, watching it again. Like just automatic response.
And you hear Euphemia's voice again. "She's not moving. She's not moving," just repeated multiple times. Lucetta is just rocking back and forth, and you can feel like she's crying now. "She wasn't real. She wasn't real. She wasn't real." Over and over and over. Euphemia across the room. What do you mean though? Mom, she's real. She's right here." And Lucetta just continues. "She wasn't real. She wasn't real." As she just lets out this scream, and the whole vision just disappears out as you are in complete darkness of swirling.
Oh boy.
You sense something closing in on you quickly. Edison, in a moment of panic, says, "Something's coming."
Should we go? I think we should go.
Do you want to protect yourself at all?
Yeah. But I got one more.
As the scream that your mother had continues to scream and echo out, even though the vision's gone, you hear this scream as a large form comes streaking in. You see as a large version of your mother in this shadowy form comes flying in. 3 others come in, but one gets deflected off. So we got 2 regulars and 1 big one. Let's see
Ruh-roh.
what happens.
The big one.
Little one misses. little one goes for Edison. The other one goes for you. The big one goes for you, Euphemia.
Oh, yeah, well, I was waiting
Sounds
for that.
alright.
The big mama.
Edison gets targeted. He zips out of the way as it flies past him and streaks past him. The big one, though, comes for you. And it connects.
Ouch.
As you feel it hit you. Okay, let me look and see where you're at. Feel yourself enter the danger zone.
Okay.
What would you like to do?
Is there anywhere else to go?
You want to try to will yourself away?
I would look at Edison first and say, is there anything else we need to try? I think we saw what we needed to see.
I think that's everything. Let's go.
Okay. Yeah, then I would go.
Wisdom saving throw. As the
There it
shadowy
is.
form is continuing to stay with you.
Oh boy. Ooh, that's good, actually. Is a 21.
Yay.
Yeah. Yeah.
The best
Sorry,
wisdom
Barb.
save I've done in a while.
Very nice. As you away, you watch too as Edison also wishes away as he
Okay.
rolled
Phew.
a 21 as well.
Hey, we matched! Oh, we were so in sync. That was beautiful.
And you all are in this room together. The three of you have been sitting there for a while. Like, this has been probably, you've been sitting there for probably like an hour and a half watching this. This is a long
that's
process.
a lot of time. Oh my gosh.
And that's when Dav left, because he was the first one to leave.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's pacing at this point.
The doctor continues to try to like calm you down, and this guy's down, just like, it's okay, they're fine, as she's continuing this
Better
treatment.
be.
But eventually both Euphemia and Edison both open their eyes. Edison just says, got some important details on this case. And that's where we're going to pick up next time. So
I can't believe everyone okay. What?
We did it!
that was close. That was close.
That was
That was
really
so close.
I knew it would be close at the end there. Oh.
So
Mark,
was
I loved
cool.
the screen thing.
you like
I
that?
noticed that like halfway through, and I was like, "Oh, that's so cool." He was dimming the
I
screen.
missed it.
Actually, he was
Oh,
dimming the
fun.
screen
Yes.
darker and darker on the edges the further
Oh,
you got into the
cool.
memory. It was
Yes.
That's
Go
awesome.
back and look at that.
too, so that's fun.
Perfect.
That's
That's
fun.
good.
I'll have to go back and look at that.
So we're gonna stop on the
Very
recording.
cool.
But thanks for watching. Appreciate y'all. Have a great one, everybody.